crossing route to Caleb.
And what it do, folks? It's your boy Charles Yoga here. This is Maryland Live at the Voice of College Football. Like I said, I am your host, Charles Yoga. You can follow me across all social media platforms at Charles Yoga, CHARLESNYONGA. Follow us at the Voice of College Football at
those guys have got to watch for those
crossing
routes so many times,
at the
You're
VOCFB.
man-to-man on
Across all
those
social media
third down
platforms, you can
situations.
listen to this thing on X, IG, Facebook, Spotify, iTunes, all the above.
Got to look
And
up
I
those
want you
receivers
all
crossing
to
on
what
those
I say
patterns.
is that is SSL. Subscribe, share, and like when it comes to the Voice of College Football. I am your host, Charles Yoga. And today, we're going to try to do something a little different today. We're going to do a live watch along as University of Maryland Terrapins travel.
He had his eyes on Malik Washington the entire time right there, just kind of
the first time ever to play in the Rose Bowl against
got himself
the UCLA Bruins. That is the Bruins of Los Angeles. And right now we are 1 minute and 30 seconds into remaining the first quarter. It's second and 10, and Maryland is moving the ball down the field after having a couple of unproductive drives. The defense has been pretty good. The offense has been suspect, but right now, as we look right now, it is 3rd and 7.
That's really
55 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Quarterback Malik Washington has been 4 of 8 for 60 yards. He is looking pretty solid after his second drive here with the Maryland Terrapins. Maryland is 3 of 4 on third down conversion with 6.5 yards to go. Let's see what happens here.
Already 3 third down conversions this drive.
League goes to the right.
Flush to the
goes
right.
Deep.
Fires on the road.
Oh, here goes this through the end zone. Oh, but there is a flag on the play. Let's just do to the referee have to say about this call.
Roderick Pleasant in coverage.
Pass interference, defense number
19. Pass interference on defense number 19. Ball we placed on the 2-yard line. First and goal, Maryland Terrapins.
Really does a nice
job.
Look at
the other side of the ball. UCLA passing.
That's where it is. That's I thought this
I'm
was
gonna butcher this name all day because it is a hard name. But Nico Imaela is 4-6 with 80 yards. Has a rating of 90.5.
Just run with him.
Berger, the running back, has 3 carries, 60 yards. Thomas, running back, has 3 carries, 6 yards. And Imaela has 1 carry for 9 yards. All right, Maryland is on the goal line. Second goal here. They try to run the ball up the middle, and it was unproductive. Very unproductive, unfortunately. But we're going to probably go to the second quarter tied 0-0. Maryland will have the ball with second and goal.
The leverage, and then you see the overlap.
Starting the second quarter. So as we go to our
coming up over the top,
go to our break here. It's a tie game at the end of one. Maryland 0, UCLA 0. Maryland is 4-2 in this game. Started 4-0, losing 2 consecutive games with fourth quarter collapses, while UCLA started the season 0-4 and have won their last 2 games. Now let's talk about a little bit about this UCLA team. I had the opportunity to speak with Matt Sushnik, who writes for USA Today out of LA. And here's one thing he said about UCLA after their 0-4 start.
To become a member of Navy Federal Credit
the coaching change really did everything.
All veterans and their families
around.
Navy Federal Credit
All of us who cover UCLA are marveling at the 180-degree night and day difference in the before and after the switch. Tim Skipper, who is the current interim coach of UCLA, has clearly created a culture of accountability and toughness. Gary Newhousel, son of Rick Newhousel, by the way,
to bring our
Temple
tangy,
baby,
smoky KFC original honey
has
barbecue
done a
back.
great job at the office support there,
A little
but this is
upset.
mostly Skipper's
Currently
achievement.
lived, so we
Newhousel
get chicken
is
back
calling
because you
great
begged
plays
for it. KFC
that they
original
wouldn't
honey
work
barbecue.
if UCLA's offensive line could not block or pass protect. The UCLA line, UCLA line has turned into a solid unit. The coaching staff keeps the fundamentals well.
Well, at least I kept all
is also making adjustments in games
for you.
and is out
More than a
making
bank
other
transaction.
coaching staffs.
It's
particularly
not
in
your
special
first
teams.
fundraise.
He guarantees
maybe
you
it's
UCLA will be
payroll for your
0-6 with false
Why
starting
doesn't
charge.
ranking
Instead,
evolve?
UCLA is 2-4,
What if it was
causing
cutting
a
edge
stir
software
in the Big
that
Ten.
acted as a platform?
Now
for
think
your
about
ambition?
that.
The truth is, banking
A lot of
can
times,
do more.
mid-season coaching
That's why over
networks kind
200,000
of like basically
entrepreneurs
putting a
love
band-aid
Library,
on
because we
a
bring
wound
all the
that
ways
is,
you use money into a simple product
5
that
feet
feels
deep.
extraordinary to
It
use.
doesn't happen, but
So you
see what UCLA has done. They went over Michigan State, went over Penn State. They called
Reliability surveys,
They called their coach.
owner
That's
satisfaction
how
surveys,
impressive
and safety ratings from
UCLA did in
IHS.
the past few
For
days. But
2025,
moving
Consumer
on,
Reports most reliable
let's
automotive
go back to
brand.
the stat
is
line here, the
Subaru.
tail of the tape,
It's
if you
no
will.
surprise they also named
First
Subaru
quarter,
the best
game
overall
comparison: Maryland
automotive
79
brand.
yards, UCLA 30,
Get 1.2%
39.
APR
Passing
financing
yards
for 72
62
months
to
on new
17.
Subaru Outback
Rush
models.
yards
Going
17 to
on now.
22. UCLA has 2 penalties for 20 yards. Maryland has 5 first downs for UCLA 2. Maryland is 3 or 4 on third down. UCLA is 3 or 4. Neither has third or fourth down yet, or attempted a fourth down conversion. Total plays 17 to 12 in favor of Maryland. Average yards per play: Maryland 4.6 to UCLA's 3.3. Yards per completion 50.5 to UCLA's 4.3. Here's the problem we're having with all game. Maryland's yard per rush is 1.9. Maryland has not rushed the ball at all well this year. They're averaging around 3.3 yards a carry, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait, there's a peanut.
While UCLA right now, 2.7 yards a carry.
M&M's
Red zone right now. Maryland's 0 for 1 in the red zone, but they have the ball again in the red zone right now. Let's see what happens after the end of this drive. Time possession. Maryland surprisingly winning battle here, 8:21 to 6:39. And we still have, the game is still early and it's still to call anything, but after the first few drives where Maryland
healthcare provider before starting on Omnipod.
had a first drive was a minute long. They punted after 3 and out.
Today's game is
Second drive
sponsored
right
by
now has
Graduate
been
Hilton.
7 minutes and 20
In your
seconds.
favorite
They started
college
the ball
towns.
on their
No score, 1 quarter
they
in.
started the ball,
Good old-fashioned
their own
defensive battle
3,
between
moved the ball
Maryland
down the
and
field,
UCLA.
and
But
have
Maryland is right on the
14
doorstep.
plays,
Ball at the
91
3,
yards.
about to have
14 plays, 91 yards,
15th
7
play of the
minutes, and
drive.
20 seconds.
And this is
And
exactly
the
what
second quarter is
offensive
just about to
coordinator
begin.
wants.
Maryland has the ball.
With that
Second and goal
tempo out of the
from the
Dewan
3 yard
Williams
line.
off the toss.
A pitch to Dewan Williams, and Maryland has lost
UCLA's defense.
a ton of yards. This is my biggest problem with Maryland this
We
whole
talked
season.
about the energy that
They
Cole
seem to
Martin
get complacent,
brings.
conservative when it comes to the red zone. They don't try to attack the pass game. It's third and goal, and they just lost.
I'm just going to try.
Look, wait for the call here. How many yards they lost?
Do
But
my
it looks like they
job,
lost at
man.
least 4 or 5
really
yards,
so much fun to watch.
which
Talk
is
about his
not going
energy.
to
You can just see it at the
work
practice.
well. Lost in 3. Tackled by Cole Martins
But he brings
and John Vaughn.
Defense
Both
is
names
keeping
John
out of
John.
the end
Come on
zone.
now. Third and goal. 14
here.
points left in the
Empty backfield. It's the arm
okay.
fade to the corner.
Oh my goodness. That would have been an amazing catch.
Andre Jordan in one-on-one
If
coverage against
Jones
Shalik
was bringing in Shalik Knox, number 4, who is
This is what
the
might
big
want to
play
get a little
receiver
bit more
for the Maryland
under this
Terrapins,
one. Get the ball
was not
out a
able to
little bit
haul in this
earlier.
one-handed
Pretty good
catch.
coverage that time.
If you want to watch this game
Jordan.
live with me, it is being broadcasted on Fox
Get that
Sports
ball up
1.
just a little bit higher. I couldn't tell if Jordan got the hand
Tune
there.
in to Fox Sports 1.
Maybe
Tune in
grabbed
TV-wise.
other
Tune in
arm.
to Maryland Radio Network. It's a great Giant Holiday and our friendly show, Lamont Jordan, he's the sideline reporter.
Wide receiver,
And Sean O'Hare, the kicker, comes in for the field goal, and it's
drives it straight through, and that is the
Maryland
first score of the game. Mike
3-0.
Team up 3-0 on the road.
On the road with 14-11 remaining in the second quarter.
Has the best network.
All right, let's break this down for a quick second. This last drive. Maryland has had several times in this season where they get to the red zone and they find a way to not score touchdowns. They settle for field goals. I believe, I'd look at the stat right now, but I think they have 25 trips to the red zone. They only have 10 touchdowns. That's not going to work in the Big Ten. That's one of the reasons why they've lost so many games late, because they weren't able to take advantage of these early chances to score the game. By the way, it's little my mama gave me this shirt. It's funny shirt, but Back to the game.
The time has come to.
At the time of this, I can't keep right now. I am
Get
I mean,
0%
refrigerator,
APR
but,
on
we
2025
reloaded
GMC
the
Hummer
stack
EV
cast
models,
here.
plus current eligible
And
Costco
Maryland is
members
up
receive up to
3-0.
$12.50 purchase allowance.
Malik Washington is 4 of 9 for
It's a
50
good thing
yards.
Discover makes
and,
it easy to be a Big Ten fan.
Totally. I get cash back on
44
my
completion
rally
percentage.
cap.
It's
Cash
not
back,
gonna work.
my favorite glove.
Nico
Cash back on my
Maya
lucky
Lavia. I'm
You
going to,
win.
by the time this show's over, I'm going to pronounce it correctly.
Cash back on
It's
every
4 6
purchase
with
with
6, 17 yards.
Okay. So we go to Rome.
Maryland
with
is
Addis
running the game,
and
running the ball
friends and her
terribly.
boyfriend.
10
Yeah,
rushes,
and the entire time,
14
I think her
yards.
boyfriend is going to
That's
propose.
not going to
We
work
go to
in history or
dinner
win
at a
key
beautiful,
games in the Big
beautiful
Ten.
restaurant.
For an average of
He breaks down when
1.4
he's
yards per
not
carry.
picking a ring up. No,
As
he's
of right now, the
tight
lead
as shit.
receiver
He
is
goes
the
to
league
dinner,
nine
but
punch, has
he
2
credit card
catches
goes to dinner.
for 48
So
yards,
thankfully, I have my
long
son
of 38.
at my
He's targeted
non-proposal
5
on-time
times,
dinner for all of us,
and
by the
most
way.
of his yards
Really
come
fun.
after
I
the
mean,
catch.
it's
Is
got
37
points.
yards, 37 yards, just 37 yards after the catch.
If the Colonel Hunter waited
Lewis
this
Root
long to
has
bring our
1 catch for
tangy
4
smoky
yards,
KFC original
and
honey barbecue
Caleb
back,
Webb has
he'd
1
be
catch for 10.
a little upset.
One player we need to see more of,
Colonel
we need to see more of
Webb,
this
we
drive
eat
is
chicken.
Dorian Fleming,
Back
tight
to
end,
you, Beck.
who we heard in the
KFC
pregame show.
original
People
honey
talk about how
LJ Martin
Pep-
15th ranked
Pep has put
against
tight end in the
and
pros.
Iowa State.
Dorian Fleming has that skill set to be to play on Sundays. He's a 6'3", 6'4" tight end, about 240 pounds, with great speed, good hands,
Great
good
starts
route
have
running,
been a
and
theme for
who's
Maryland.
worked hard on his
15
worked
and
hard
in
on
August
his
and
blocking.
September over the last
It
4
appears they're
years,
keeping
but
him
9
in.
games below 500 to
It appears
finish
they're
at.
keeping him
And
in
so far, this
line to
season's
block.
been
They need to put
much
him
the
more
same.
out there
4-0,
in the
win the Big Ten opener,
short yardage,
but
off the
unable
middle,
to close out the
drag
last 2
routes,
weeks when
slants,
Michael
etc.
Locksley
Get him more involved in this
quarter
game.
leads.
Yeah, and Mike Loxley was quick to
As you
point
said,
out
it's posted
to
here,
us, and I
Mike
think
Loxley
to
is
other
7-15
people in the
in
media,
October as the Maryland head coach.
Maryland
Hopefully, he
teams
makes that
weren't able to
8-15
finish
after
a
this
couple
game
of those
because Maryland to all UCLA. He's trying to make a return.
Malala with the return.
And Malala is a return for about 15 yards, 1st and 10,
That's where
UCLA.
Maliaba and this UCLA offense
14:06
will try to
remaining in the
respond after a 17-play Maryland drive, their longest of the season.
I'm wondering if this audio is going across the feed.
see if we can keep getting that run game
Apparently it
cranked
is.
up.
So you can hear the audio of the game.
Good old-fashioned Big Ten, right?
That's right.
Everybody talking about all these quarterbacks, probably the best conference in the country when it comes to quarterbacks. But going back to the 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Maliaba snaps it to the sideline. That's Quasi Gilmer, the leading receiver for UCLA. His first catch of the afternoon goes for 5.
Boy, and for a long guy, I mean, he's just a really big guy, right? 6'6",
20-pound quarterback who was.
He gets that ball out of there quickly. Catch and throw right there.
A
little bit inside.
His money, he want to get his
to
bread.
Gilmer.
And you feel so.
He's a lot of fun to watch. Great personality, obviously. A lot of controversy.
We'll see what happens here.
Gives the football off to Jalen Berger. Yeah, first you're talking about the NIL disputes that kind of happened in April of last year. He left the Tennessee program, but Tim Skipper was telling you and I yesterday that the narrative on this kid is completely wrong, and he is one of the most mentally tough people he's ever been around.
Well, like they say, a rumor's halfway around the world before the truth has left the house, right? And I think in this era of NIL, it's just going to happen with some guys.
With 13
the way that media, special social media works. All that matters is who you are, not who people think you are.
Play clock down to 3. Maliaba right over the middle and wide open man. It's a first down for UCLA. Moki Awati Malala's first catch of the day is a first down.
I'm not even trying to say anything. Moki Ala.
Oh, and here is that Nico Iamaleava timeline. Starting quarterback, college football playoff appearance in 2024 with Tennessee. Ohio State, eventual national champions. There, you happy? Enters the portal, comes home to UCLA about an hour from where he grew up, and has been sensational the last 2 weeks. 8 total touchdowns, no picks. That upset win over Penn State and a road win at Michigan State. Frias, bus race.
Oh my God!
Goes foot race, touchdown UCLA.
See, this is the problem here. Maryland had opportunity to score a touchdown. They go for a field goal, and now Maryland coach offense a lot, and it's press coverage. They yield the big
One of the
play.
things that's really stood out about Jerry Heisel's offense is the way he's created space in the pass game, but in the run game here, kind of using that motion to get the defense, to get their eyes in the wrong place, wide open in the middle of that defense, and Braden Lee just not enough juice to make the tackle. What a run by Frias, excuse me.
Frias with a 55-yard touchdown run. And the UCLA, they took 3 leads. And
a quick strike response from UCLA as the point after is straight down the middle, and the Bruins take their first lead of the day.
They call Frias, they call him the Swiss Army knife, but a dagger into that Maryland Terrapin defense.
Said I was gonna get on my kid in addition.
On a resourceful.
I guess I shouldn't play the commercials, but yeah, again, Maryland giving up a big play when they did not need to give up the big play. That's quite embarrassing because they were defensively were able to shut down UCLA's offense for the first two or three drives. Now UCLA leads Maryland total yards at 110, 79 yards rushing, 55 of it by Frias on that one play, who ran 55 yards to the house for the touchdown. You can't have, if you want to win games in the Big Ten, you cannot have plays like this happen. You need, now, on the reverse, Maryland seems to play better when they need, offensively, when they have to score versus when they have the lead, they don't need to score. So what Maryland needs to do here is probably try to attack the ball, attack the team downfield, attack UCLA's defense. UCLA's defense is not very good. Shalik Knox is the big play guy. He already caught a pass for 32 yards. They need to stretch the field vertically, not laterally, which apparently was what Maryland likes to do when they have a lead. They want to run these 3-and-out screens. They want to run these short hitches, short slants, short outs. They need to attack the ball down the field and stretch defense vertically instead of horizontally, because you're not going to win too many games running 3-yard routes. So when this game returns, we're going to listen in to the play call from Fox Sports 1 as they talk about how Maryland needs to maybe try to figure a way to bounce back in this game. But let's talk a little bit more about what's going on in UCLA with the changeover at head coach. Matt Zemek said, Ia Maya Leva has come alive since the coaching change. This is the guy everyone hoped to see. The player who has NFL potential. Ia Maya Leva can make high-level throws, but his running ability has set him apart. It's his biggest strength as a quarterback. Maryland, if he wants to win, must make sure even Ia Maya Leva does not bust loose for big runs. Ia Maya has fresh confidence with Jerry Newhouse on offense, and given how shaky Maryland's defense can be, it's reasonable to expect that Ia Maya will be a very big game against the Terps. Now that wasn't Ia, that was Frias, who with a long run.
Jerry Newhouse has been trying to create more space in the pass game. Well, here you get a lot of space in that run game. Get a little help from the official getting in the way, and from there, it's Anthony Frias turning on the Jets and getting it in for 6.
Longest run of the season for UCLA, a 55-yarder, and Tim Skipper's team responds quickly, takes their first lead of the day. We had no score after the first 15 minutes, 10 points scored in the matter of 2 minutes and 55 seconds to open the second quarter. Maryland offense that had a 17-play drive, their longest of the season. Malik Washington had 3 third-down conversions on that last play, or on that last drive, Robert. And even as a 19-year-old true freshman, the calmness and the composure was on display that drive.
Boy, you could just see it. You see it in some guys' eyes when you watch the games on TV. He just looks like one of those guys that's just so calm. And We talked about this. Mike Loxley has known him since he was in the 8th grade playing on those all-star teams. And the offense, Pep Hamilton, they got to be saying we start at the 6-yard line, then the 8-yard line, 25-yard line. Let's go.
By far the best starting field position. And it's a flea flicker on the first play. Washington launches downfield and passes nearly intercepted.
That is a terrible play call. He was going for
his 57th career game, nearly on the pick.
Oh, man, we had a great interview with Pete Lawrence yesterday. This is just a bad decision. Play call. You can't throw this football. And I know what happens so many times when you get those special kind of plays, you get a flea flicker like that, whether that's a player, a running back, or wide receiver that's going to be making that decision, like they feel that they just need to throw the ball. And sometimes you want to give your receiver a chance, but just way too much air. Good coverage there by the Bruin defense.
Quick screen. Farouk on the near sideline, squeezing between two defenders, and he picks up 7 before Key Lawrence is in on a second consecutive play.
7-yard gain is
the thing about Key Lawrence and, kind of what he's trying to instill. Like he's been all over college football, right? Like he's been to Oklahoma, been to Ole Miss. He's like, I might as well play in every conference in the country. But you can see the intensity, the way he brings that hat, physical tackle. He wants to inspire these guys. Say, hey, we want the country talking about us. Big third down here from Malik Washington.
He called that Penn State win contagious. He said he wants that feeling more. Washington steps up. It's incomplete, looking for Shalik Knotts. And 4th down. UCLA's defense with the stop, and the punt unit comes out for the Terps.
Yeah, Kevin Coyle, the defensive coordinator, go with a little simulated pressure right there and kind of speed up the clock in that young quarterback's mind. He sees all those people lined up at the line of scrimmage, thinking it's going to be an all-out blitz with man behind it. Pull some of those guys back out, bring them into zone coverage, nowhere to go with that ball.
Maryland back for the punt, 4th and 3.
Bryce McPherson boots it away.
Good punt.
Says Mikey Matthews, lets it fly behind him.
Great punt.
And finally, Maryland's able to flip the table on UCLA and force the Bruins to start inside their own 10. We've got a fun one in the Big Ten here on FS1.
Welcome.
I don't know if this is a fun one for you Maryland fans out there, as Maryland decided to not want to convert to a 3rd and short. And give UCLA the ball back, but the UCLA ball does have the ball in their own 7-yard line, so they do have to go 93 yards in order to get this score. So I talked to Matt Zemek about the Rose Bowl. As we said about the history of the Rose Bowl, it is quite simply the most picturesque and iconic venue in college football. There are many historic stadiums in college football: Husky Stadium in Seattle, Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. The list goes on. The Rose Bowl is not only located in a scenic area, the Arroyo Seco, in the shadows of San Gabriel Mountains, but it's the home of the oldest, most famous, prestigious, and most important bowl game in college football. People who don't live in the Western United States view the Rose Bowl executives as snobs and elitists, and I understand why. But when you see the sunset on the Rose Bowl, on the Rose Bowl game near 5 p.m. on New Year's Day, with the granddaddy going into a tense, close 4th quarter, you begin to understand why the Rose Bowl means. Rose Bowl remains a 2:10 p.m. local time kickoff on January 1st. That's right. Because kickoff at 2 p.m., you always get around to the 4th quarter around 5 p.m. when the sun sets on January 1st. I've seen it on TV, and I've never seen it in person. I've been to the Rose Bowl, but I've never been there for a game. I've seen it in person, but never been to a game live. It is majestic, to be honest with you. It's one of those things, like, I would love to see a game here live. And once I get the opportunity to do it, I will. And on that note, I have to go and check on my animals, because apparently my dog is outside my door trying to get in. So give me 1 second, folks, and we'll be right.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. and the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
To get one that actually reverses a first down like that, and then you're punting from your own end zone. Maryland's an excellent opportunity to get some great field position here. And they may come after this thing. Special teams coach Andre Powell, the first time they've ever had a specialized coach that only focused on special teams.
Maryland does send the house. Carroll gets it away with ease. Farouk from inside midfield has a little bit of space, and he returns it to the plus 42. It's a 7-yard return, and you said it. Maryland has phenomenal field position to start this drive. Down 7-3 halfway through the second.
Maryland is down 7-3 halfway through the second quarter. And let's talk a little bit about this game going on right now. We do have Maryland's total yards 83 to UCLA's 120. 87 rushing yards to Maryland's 14. Again, Maryland cannot run the ball effectively. It's been a problem all season. Even in the last game against Nebraska, where they did have a few, they did average 4.5 yards a carry. It was not good. It was not enough to help secure a win. Maybe this is the one time Maryland, who gets outscored in the first half, actually outscores the opposing team in the second half, unlike previous games. Malik has not looked well since his first started the first game. He is now 5 of 12 only for 69 yards. He has thrown. Let's look at the stats very quick. He has been thrown how many incompletions in a row? Let's go comparison. Let's go to advanced stats. No. Let's look at drives. Home team, and let's look at the drives. Yes, Maryland punt. Sorry, that's UCLA. Excuse me. Yes, UCLA. Let's look at home team, away team. Excuse me. Maryland. Let's go at drives. Maryland's drives: punt, field goal, punt. First drive, 3 plays, 3 yards. Second drive, 17 plays, 88 yards, and a field goal. Third drive, 3 plays, 7 yards, and the punt. Now they're about to take their 4th drive in the second quarter, and hopefully they can figure out how to move this ball down the field. They've been averaging start of the every drives on own 13. Average number of plays, 8 per drive. Only 1 scoring drive, 33%, but that ended only up in a field goal. Maryland's going to have to do something different moving forward because they have 2 3-and-outs. It's going to average time possession 3.323 per drive. This is not going to work. So Maryland is looking like they are regressing offensively. On the positive note, neither team is looking like Maryland has no penalties. They have 1 penalty of pass interference, which was declined. Let's look at UCLA and their penalties. They have 2 penalties on offense for 13 yards, a delay of game and a holding, and 1 penalty on defense for pass interference, which all 3 were accepted. So when we are coming back here with the game, Maryland is trailing UCLA 7-3.
55-yard touchdown run is the only touchdown today for either team from Anthony Frias on his lone carry of the day as UCLA up 7-3 from the Rose Bowl, but it's Maryland who takes over in plus territory. Iverson Howard's first carry. The true freshman is swung to the ground by Jalen Woods.
I am not understanding Pep handling.
Boy, Woods just does a great job of running this thing all the way down from the backside. You're not going to account for him on the backside. Somebody's supposed to turn out on that one.
Back to the running.
Leave a guy like that free.
Off tackle right.
He sees
draw left.
players motion
right.
to the left side. Good idea where that one was going.
Washington sets, throws to the sideline. That's caught by Octavian Smith for a short pickup. Still 3rd and long coming up for the Terps.
A short, 2-yard out.
Dangerous throw right there. Cole Martin, you mentioned his name a few times tonight.
I feel like they're in defense.
Safety.
Everything's be right
almost able to get in front of that one. A little bit of confusion, as you would expect from guys that are installing new defense just about every week here over the last 4 weeks.
That defense trying to force a 3-and-out, and that pass is thrown behind Shalik Knotts. Roderick Pleasant was right there regardless for UCLA. It's 4th and 8.
This has been quite possibly one of the
well, as with any quarterback, accuracy usually determined by the footwork. And Malik Washington, still a young quarterback, true freshman. As we talked about, that problem 5-6 months ago. Gets a little bit hurried with his feet with the pressure. Ends up with an inaccurate throw behind his intended target.
3rd 3-and-out today for Maryland. They took over in UCLA territory, but unable to make anything of it. And that punt flies out of bounds.
Where are they going to mark this ball?
Drive will start at the 10 after a 30-yard punt. Tomorrow in FS1, the fight for the American League crown continues as Cal Raleigh and the Mariners take on Vlad Jr. and the Blue Jays. Game 6 of the ALCS coverage begins tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on FS1.
What's going on in baseball? Raleigh, you got a center hitting 61 home runs. Last night out here, of course, not too far from here, Shohei Ohtani 3 home runs in that, and 3 home runs in that game, and he throws 6 shutout innings. And Babe Ruth, I guess, had never even hit a home run in the postseason when he was a starting pitcher. Shohei's something special.
This is Jet with the carry. It's a short pickup of a yard. 3 for 3, 3 home runs, 6 scoreless innings, 10 strikeouts is not humanly possible, I don't think, but somehow it was.
Shohei last night was ridiculous. The 3 home runs he had were.
Nico Iamaleava and UCLA scored a touchdown a couple drives ago thanks to a 55-yard run from Anthony Frias, the fourth-string running back who entered today with 37 total yards on the ground.
Yeah, and I think
what the drive, they are on their own
2 very
11-yard line.
Defensive coordinators have spent a lot of time
45
in the
seconds
NFL.
remaining
Kevin
in the
Boyle,
second quarter.
Ted Monachino.
Iamaleava flushed out to the right, surveying. Can't make anything happen. He gets shoved out of bounds after a short pickup.
Well, I was going to say, you've got experienced defensive coordinators like that, especially guys that have spent time in the NFL. And Mike Loxley said to us, these NFL guys, on the defensive side with Monachino, on the offensive side with Pep Hamilton and Andre Powell, the special teams coach. He said these guys are like a cheat code, because they're going to analyze film in a way that, quite frankly, a lot of college coaches just can't and don't. And they've really come up with some looks here that I think are confusing these opposing quarterbacks.
See if Nico and this UCLA offense can stay on the field. He spins away from what would have been a second. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
Who is that?
Daniel Wingate there for the sack, along with Nasir Taylor.
Junior linebacker. Daniel Wingate.
There is a flag.
Oh, Lord. Of course, it's a flag to play. It's Maryland football. Why wouldn't there be a flag to play?
To the defensive secondary.
Holding, roughing the tackler.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 3. Half the distance to the goal. It is 4th down, and that is number 3's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the
Maryland
game.
did not commit a stupid bonehead penalty. That is impressive. I put that.
I'm sure Mike Loxley
a win for Maryland. Now,
sighing in relief there because
on this
team had
maybe
been on the wrong side of some of those unsportsmanlike penalties over the last couple of weeks. And
let's see what happens.
He's done a great job, really, of corralling those guys and talking to them. He said he's had so much more time to spend with the players. In his story, he told us about being in practice and just kind of seeing a player down on the sideline.
Mostly because of failure under Sean Paul.
Boots it away.
Oh, wow.
Takes an extra.
Those were a disaster under the previous season. Against Michigan State, there was only one real problem that with UCLA performance: holding penalties.
Still 7-3 for the Rose Bowl on FS1.
Still won at 25 from the road. Maryland's edge rushers the least need to just keep it in holding and blocking in the edge we talk about. So that was a penalty on the secondary. So, but we'll see. Maryland has the opportunity here to correct mistakes of the last drive because they should have done more with the last 2 drives. And let's take a look at the drives from Maryland, the past 3. We have, switch over to the away team drives. Maryland, 3 plays, 3 yards, first drive. Second play, 17 plays, 88 yards, field goal. Third drive, 3 plays, 7 yards. Fourth drive, 3 plays, 2 yards. 3 out of the 4 drives are 3 and outs. That is not going to win anybody games. I don't care if you had Patrick Mahomes there. I don't care if you had the 86 Bears defense. 3 out of 4 of your drives being 3 and outs will not win any games. As you can compare to UCLA's drives, where they have 3 plays for 5 yards, 9 plays for 29 yards. That was in the punt. 4 plays, 30 yards, which ended that 55-yard run for Frias for a touchdown. But then the last 2 drives, Maryland's defense set back up again. 3 plays, 2 yards, and 3 plays, -5 yards. Outside of 1 play, Maryland's defense has been shut down, locked down. They are, in the words of Metallica, seek and destroy with their defense. Daniel Woodgate, Zahir Mathis, Sidney Stewart, Trey Reddick, Cam Rice, Dylan Fontes. The defense is. Let's take a look at the stat line on the defense. Wingate already 4 tackles, 4 solo. Reddick 3 tackles, 2 solos. Scruggs 3 tackles, 2 solos. Holmes 2 tackles, 2 solos. Smith 2 tackles, 2 solo. Naylor 2 tackles, 2 solo. Cooper, Gasker, Joyner, Knowles, Thomas, Fontes. Sorry, Fontes 7 tackle. He's a breakup, but all have 1 tackle. So the defense is doing their job. They are, like I said, outside of, if you want to bring up, let's do a little math here. Let's bring up the old calculator and do a little math when it comes to total yards.
Late trauma and Tempeus and unbeaten goes down, and several Heisman candidates state their cases. Norton Roberts. Back to you.
Oh, Mike, what a catch, striking the Heisman pose, too.
That's why they call him the thrill. The Vanderbilt quarterback, I guess he struck that Heisman pose earlier. You know, we were talking about Mike Loxley and
one big play.
A head coach that's now not calling the offensive plays. I think he has a much better pulse for the team and has really been able to pick up on little things and which players to reach out to.
Handoff, this is Williams, and he stopped right at the line to gain. You had asked him earlier this week, too, Rob. You said, what's been the biggest change about you from last year to this year? And he said, quite simply, I'm listening more. I was too buried in practice sheets and scripts, and now I've been very intentional about creating relationships with my players.
Yeah, and it was just a great story. You talked about seeing a player looked like he was upset at practice, so he wrote a little note to himself on his pad and made it a point to reach out to that player and see what was going on. And with so many young players, 21 freshmen on this team, that's so important.
Washington, just 2 of his last 7 pumps, completes the pass across the 40. That's Dorian Fleming, the tight end's first catch of the day. It's 3rd and short for the Terrapins after a 9-yard gain.
Not a lot of hesitation in this young man.
He is
Malik Washington, a true freshman. It's amazing. You talk about the development of quarterbacks from year 1 to year 2, but just the comfort that he has had in developing this year.
Williams tried to bounce it to the left. I think he's short. Keanu Williams, the redshirt senior, got to the backfield for the stop.
6'5", 320 pounds of Keanu Williams. Big man right in the middle of the defense.
This is embarrassing.
Guys just not staying blocked. Block destruction, but they're going to go for it on 4th down. Or at least line up to go for it.
In their own territory, 4th and less than a yard.
Please don't run the ball.
Okay, they say no.
They go. And it's a first down. Williams sidestepping a defender, carries the defense with him inside the 35. On 4th and 1, Williams got 23.
Point they say about Williams.
DeJuan Williams got the speed and the power. He's also got a little bit of that hurdling ability. You could see it right there. Sidesteps, gets a little stiff arm.
All right.
Great play on 4th down.
Perry, that's there, right.
They fake it to him. Washington has time. Sidearm delivery to Williams. Lost the football. UCLA's got it.
Oh, my goodness.
Isaiah Chisholm punched it out. John Vaughn's recovered, and the Bruins have the football.
How are you going to lose the ball to anybody named John?
Defensive coordinator Kevin Coyle, he's talked about Chisholm and Vaughn's and
UCLA.
I think that's going to stand under review because clearly had possession of that ball, made a football move getting upfield, but he's just talked about what tone setters both of these guys have been. You always want from that linebacker position, but that's just coming in there with the right technique, sticking that right L on the football and knocking it loose.
Maryland, he's on the foot every time. You get a 24-yard run.
I wonder if they might take a look at this.
Well, they are going to take a look at it, but it looked like he had clear possession.
On the field on the previous play was catch, fumble, recovery, defense. That ruling is under further review.
So the call on the field is catch, fumble, recovered by UCLA. It would be Maryland's just their 4th turnover all season. We do have our rules expert, Mike Pereira, with us. Mike, do you think he had enough possession of that football for that to be a fumble?
Well, I think you got to go through the whole process. So first thing you're going to look for is control. Does he have control? Yes. Does he turn upfield? I would say yes. Tuck it away? Yes. The fact that it was ruled to catch, it's close, but the fact that it was ruled to catch and fumble on the field, I don't think, as we look at it here, I don't think they can change that.
Yeah, Mike, thank you. Robert, that's essentially what you were just saying 2 moments ago.
Yes, and Mike, of course, his analysis is sharp as his suit.
Yeah.
And pocket square. Always looking the part of the rules expert. Yeah, I think especially
a fumble
since it was called the fumble on the field, nothing
we don't need it
in that
we don't need a 2-hour
clear and obvious to overturn
review. We know it's a fumble.
But those elements, catching the ball, having clear control of it, turning upfield,
moving forward.
That element of time be difficult to overturn. They're taking a look at it for a while, though.
If it stands, that's only turnover number 4 this season for Maryland in game number 7. They've been so good at taking care of the football.
Yeah, number 1 in the Big Ten, number 1 in the nation in turnover margin at +10.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field of catch, fumble, recovery, UCLA is upheld. First down, UCLA.
Well, there you go. The fumble is upheld, meaning the nation's number 1 team in turnover margin at +10 has just given it away. And at least for today, they are -1.
UCLA
Just
takes
the
the ball,
type of mistake going on the road that you
first and 10.
It drives you crazy as a coach. That's what happens with young players, though, right?
What happens?
Guys different from half to half, let alone game to game. But they've started so quickly and fallen behind late.
Says Anthony Woods. He was a game-time decision leading into today. His first carry is a loss of 1 as Wingate gets into the backfield.
What I was going to say is, you know, this is much different than what's happened to them in their 2 previous losses. They've come out, they've made some mistakes, but still playing with a lot of fire defensively and offensively. Just had some looks that have confused them a bit.
In Bowie, Maryland.
4th quarter leads in each of their last 2 games against Washington and Nebraska, but haven't been able to hold on to them. Iamaleava has a clean pocket, sips it over the middle. That's Gilmore, who captures it near midfield. First down, UCLA.
This is an absolute strike from Nico.
Nico just a laser.
Iamaleava. What a tremendous throw. It has to get that thing in the perfect place, and love the courage from Gilmer.
Longest completion of the day for Iamaleava. He's got UCLA near midfield trying to add points in the final 2 minutes. Next on FS1.
That ball out of the air. As we watch a Dr. Pepper commercial here, let's go over some of the other notes I got from Matt Zemek. I noticed as the game started, there was a lot of empty seats there, and I asked him, the Pac-12. UCLA transferring from the Pac-12 to the Big Ten. What's it been for the fan base, and what does it mean for fan base travel? He goes, UCLA fans have a hard time going to their own home games. We can tell from if you look at the stadium, fans miss the local regional rivalries. Alumni from Midwestern Big Ten schools enjoy UCLA for home games because Maryland's not Midwest, but I digress. Because they get a chance to not only see their favorite Big Ten team, but in Southern California, where the weather is not cold, gray, Midwest weather. UCLA football product has been bad, but in competitive LA entertainment market, no one is going to watch a bad product. UCLA does not take football seriously. Until it does, the program will be saddled with minimal revenue due to small crowds. TV money can only do so much when you are more than 55,000 empty seats for every home game. And I saw a picture of the blimp cam of the UCLA stadium at the Rose Bowl, and it was mostly empty. I mean, there was a lot. You saw some blue and gold, and you see a lot of white, and the white was the empty seats. So, and the funny thing is, we had the same problem here at the University of Maryland. The Maryland has played most of their games at home to start the season, and I noticed that the Nebraska game, there were way more Nebraska fans there than it should have been. The entire opposite side of the field, the entire stage, stadium opposite the press box was a lot of red. You think, oh, red, Maryland fans. Nope, it was Nebraska red. It was not Maryland red. And you have to understand the fact that home games, there's the point of having home games if you don't have the home field advantage. What's the point of having playing at home if you don't have your home team support? You might as well just go play some random, play some in Paducah, Paducah, whatever. It's not going to work for the home team if you don't have the home field advantage. You don't have the fans there to support your team. Making that noise on 3rd and short. But let's see. Are they reviewing something else again here? We're going back to the game.
Targeting on Trey Reddick for that last hit before the timeout of Quasi Gilmer coming over the middle.
Oh, come on. Targeting. Yep.
Yeah, and with a defenseless player, doesn't have to be with the crown of the helmet. It looks like he lowers his helmet, gets into Gilmer. It seems like he's making contact into the head and neck area, right into the helmet.
After reviewing the play, there is a personal foul targeting Maryland number 3, contact to a defenseless player into the head and neck area. The 15-yard penalty be added to the end of the run. Number 3 is disqualified from the remainder of the competition.
Wow, Trey Reddick is out. Mike Pereira with us. Mike, is that what you saw as well?
Yeah, although I think he has completed the catch, he did get a body part down. He still is considered defenseless until that time frame where he can actually protect himself and ward off contact. And to me, being defenseless, leading with the shoulder to the head and neck area is targeting, and I do believe that's the right call.
Or a personal foul.
Mike, that is a big loss for Maryland, who is already without Zaire Mathis, their true freshman linebacker. They're now down a second linebacker as Trey Reddick is out.
This is going to hurt our defense.
First down after the 23-yard pass play. Jalen Berger slips away from a tackler, gets a couple extra yards on the second effort. Maryland told us that they wanted to get some of their reserves a little bit more time, Robert. Well, they don't have a choice. That's going to have to be the case today now.
Yeah, they certainly do. And Keyshawn Flowers and Michael Harris at that linebacker spot, because they wanted to take at least 15 to 20 snaps away from some of those starters because they saw that they were wearing down later in games.
Iamaleava hit as he throws into one-on-one coverage, and that is way too far for Rico Flores. Wingate had the hit on the throw of Nico Iamaleava.
And Ted Monachino, the defensive coordinator, he talked about some of the blitzes that they've been dialing up. And, Daniel Wingate comes from that linebacker spot, and this is one that Iamaleava just can't see. And because the offensive line has really already declared their protection, they've picked up the people that they see are blitzing. You get that late blitz from Wingate. A lot of times, that guy could get home.
Make a play here.
3 of 7 on third down today. Driving in Maryland territory. UCLA's offense trying to stay on the field. Handed off to Berger, who lowers the shoulder down to the 25. That's enough for a first down.
I'm surprised they didn't call their way again.
I love the way that Berger runs here. Watch the little jump cut back on this one. He really sets that thing up because Wingate believes that he's going to take that ball front side. That's because he did what you call pressing the line of scrimmage. You make those decisions late, make those linebackers flow, and then cut it back.
3-touchdown game against his former team last week, a Michigan State transfer, and he's had a nice drive here. Iamaleava escapes pressure, sliding past a couple, zips it on the run, and pass is intercepted. Jalen Husky's third pick of the season, and now Maryland has a nation-leading 11th pick.
it wasn't a bad decision to make the throw. He's just got to get more air on that thing. And
that was a terrible throw by
guys on Sunday, we watch Lamar Jackson and we watch the Josh Allens and the Patrick Mahomes of the world, and they make those throws on third down, but those are really elite players. And we've talked about some of the inaccuracies with Nico Iamaleava and that tendency for that low throw. That motion just kind of gets that ball out low, and that's what it was right there. He had his tight end wide open. If he could have gotten some air on that one, it might have been 6.
13 interceptions for Maryland, and you had mentioned that point earlier in the game, that low arm slot for Nico Iamaleava. This time it forces a turnover. Quick pass on the screen. Farouk turns it upfield, and he's spun down just shy of the 20.
Oh, wow.
That is enough for a first down, though, for the Terrapins.
Let's get a little
extension of the run game. Those advantage-type throws, it's really just straight number count. We have the numbers for that quick little smoke.
Going tempo with under a minute to go. Pumps once, completes it to Nolan Ray, and a crushing hit.
Ray got obliterated. He got the Goldberg spirit. He got gored.
Anthony Jones for UCLA put a hit on Ray, who is slow to get up.
Looking like he might be hurt. Not the and had the wind knocked out of him.
You see Jones right here.
24 seconds, please.
Good with his eyes.
I'm sorry. I guess as
nice clean hit. It's like it just catches him right in the midsection.
Hindsight, but
it's that helmet right into the gut.
And we can look at this.
That's one where you get the wind knocked out of you, which is a scary feeling, especially when you've never had it happen to you before. I've told this story before. Like the first time it happened to me, it happened on Sunday night football, and got the wind knocked out of me. And it never happened to me before. And I couldn't breathe. Right. And I'm, I catch my breath, of course. I'm walking back to the sideline and I'm laughing. They're like, "What are you laughing about?" I said, "I thought I was going to die on national TV 10 seconds ago." That's pretty funny.
For those who
some people have a different definition of funny, I suppose.
You can't breathe. You're like, "Oh my God, I'm dying." But it's just
44 seconds before halftime. Maryland trying to drive deep into their own territory. Screen pass. Octavian Smith spins to the outside, turns the corner, runs out of bounds, stops the clock with 40 seconds to play before halftime.
Boy, and Roderick Pleasant did exactly what he's supposed to do. And you just tell when guys are well coached. It's the way that they execute techniques. And Kevin Coyle, of course, came in as that defensive coordinator. Roderick Pleasant knew exactly how to take that block on, how to leverage the football, keep that outside arm free, use the sideline as his friend. That creates a third and long situation for this Maryland offense.
It ain't worth talking about anymore.
Just 3 of 8. 0 for their last 4 on third down. Washington, plenty of time, scans, fires down the seam, and it is incomplete. There is a flag, though. Was looking for Octavian Smith. Robert Stafford III had the coverage.
He got bailed out by a Pac-Man fan.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Terrible pass.
Yeah, Stafford's going to be in good position.
Octavian
Smith gets a little bit handsy. We've seen that before. Those guys try and get that hand on the back of the jersey. And, of course, it's always easy to tell who the guilty person is because they're sticking their hands up saying they're innocent.
That is
good position. Just don't get that hand inside of that jersey. We saw that earlier from Pleasant. Not a technique that you want to copy.
Washington drops it off. DeJuan Williams rips down in a nice open field tackle that time by Jalen Woods.
This Maryland offense, obviously beneficiaries of that.
Please reset the game clock to 26 seconds. 26 seconds, please.
Beneficiaries of that penalty, but this
thank you.
UCLA defense doing a pretty solid job. And, Tim Skipper, he reached out to to Kevin Coyle, and they had a history and coaching some time together, and just thought he was going to be the right guy to bring in. And of course, Tim Skipper, he's a defensive-minded guy. Played under Pat Hill at Fresno State, was of course the interim head coach at Fresno State last year. But bringing Kevin Coyle in, and those guys have kind of installed defense on the fly together. What a job Tim Skipper's done. Really talked about war rooming with the offensive, defensive coaches, really pushing each other on different scenarios that might come up into games. It's paid big dividends so far.
Second and 6.
Second down. Washington to the far side has an open man. Oh, it was almost intercepted.
Wow.
Scooter Jackson came flying in at the last moment to break up what could have been a huge gain.
One of the things that you do with young quarterbacks, but just quarterbacks in general, you want to try and give them a different look post-snap than they see pre-snap and kind of bait them into some of those throws, and had a pressure look like those guys were going to blitz. They backed out of that. Washington almost able to make that completion, but just as easily could have gone the other way.
Play clock winding down to 5. Maryland has to take a timeout.
Come on, kids. Come on, guys. Get your stuff together.
And Mike Loxley is not happy that he had to take one when the clock was stopped.
I wouldn't either. The fact that
we talk about, what Tim Skipper, what he's done, and he's just so much fun to talk to, right?
Awesome.
And this is one of the best stories in all college football. And you have a winless team beating top 10 team for the first time since 10 years before my partner was born, 1985. Utah beating BYU.
Only 9 years.
Oh, 9 years, sorry. But, just kind of bringing these guys around. He said the first thing he made them do was clean the locker room.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it sounded simple, but that was the first thing that he did. But he brought in the right people as well.
Washington uses the leg, slips away from one, makes a cut. He's got a first down. The clock will stop momentarily at 18 seconds.
He's got wheels. He can run. Use some more plan.
This is what they said they got from Malik Washington. They finally got him to run when they wanted him to run. An empty look here.
Washington fires against his body to the sideline to Williams, and he made the catch.
Oh, wow. What a catch. Williams redeems himself here.
I don't know if that foot was in. Looks like that.
Incomplete.
Yeah, that right foot looked like it was out.
Catch.
Because, he has to go up. Yep.
No catch. No catch. It's okay, though.
It's a heck of a throw, though. Almost
only counts for 4 season air days, so.
Sean O'Hare's season long is 49 yards, so you'd need to pick up about 20 yards from this point to give him an attempt at his season long of 49.
I think Sean O'Hare
play clock down to 2.
Over 50 yards.
Washington stepping up, gets away. He's got space. Washington out of bounds, just shy of the 40 with 3 seconds to go.
I'm not sure if that's in Sean O'Hare's range, though.
So still well shy of what field goal range would be.
We talked about this earlier. Mike Loxley,
they need to use
Pep Hamilton,
more
coach,
frequently in the run game. They let him scramble, let him run.
Also on the team.
Sometimes
since the 8th grade, they've had their eye on Malik Washington. He plays the same year as Pep Hamilton's son. And the thing that really stands out is the poise, just how calm he is. And that last play, a great example of it. We have a chance to pull that replay up. He gets pressure and gets people at his legs, coming at his legs, just no panic at all. And even for a young player, it's not thinking so much as it is reacting. Just such a natural feel inside of the pocket for when he needs to escape. And of course, he's got the wheels to do some damage.
Washington played on Pep Hamilton's son's team in 8th grade. Jackson Hamilton, who's also a true freshman, here at Maryland. He said when I first met him in 8th grade, that was the first moment where I said, this kid's he's a little different.
Different in a good way.
In a great way.
All kinds of space.
Final play. Washington sets, lofts it towards the end zone, looking for a score right before halftime. And it's incomplete.
Hail Mary? No. No dice.
Story of half number one, Robert.
UCLA leads Maryland 7-3.
They say that wins championships. I'm an offensive guy, but I believe that may be
in front of the
true sometimes.
7-3 at halftime. UCLA up at home. Now out to our studios for the State Farm halftime show with Mike Hill and the guys.
And we'll come to go to our sponsor.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click Join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Make 2025 a winner now. Folks, it is halftime. Maryland trails UCLA 7-3. All I say is the offense has been putrid. It's been terrible. I almost dropped the F-bomb. That's how bad it's been. It's like you've had plenty of opportunities to move the ball. Let's do a tail of the tape here. Let's go down to the stat line and let's break it down by comparison. All right. Total net yards. Maryland 155 to UCLA's 147. Net rushing yards 57 to 96. Obviously, remember 55 to 96 was on 1 yard by Fryer. Rushing attempts even to 16 rushes per yard. Maryland 3.6 to UCLA 6.0. Rushing touchdowns 0 to 1. Let's go down to passing. Malik Washington 11 to 23. Nico, I'm just gonna say Nico because I still can't pronounce his name correctly. 8 of 12. Yards per completion 8.9 to 6.4. Yards of the catch 78 to 26. Penalties, which is I want to go to the penalties here. Where's the penalties? Yes. Maryland 1 for 15, UCLA 5 for 47. Time of possession, Maryland 14-46, UCLA's 15-14. Let's go to red zone attempts. Maryland 1 for 1. UCLA no red zone attempts. Their one touchdown came from a 55-yard run. Red zone points. Maryland 3 points. That should have been a touchdown. Maryland on the game 4 of 9 on third down. UCLA 4 of 8 for third down. Maryland 1 of 1 on fourth down. UCLA did not attempt a fourth down conversion. Fumbles lost. Maryland has one that right after Jawan Williams converts a fourth down, he fumbles the ball. Not looking good. Let's go down to the scoring comparison. Let's go to the home team and drives. Away team and drives. Maryland. First drive, 3 plays, 3 yards, punt. Second drive, 17 plays, 88 yards, field goal. Third drive, 3 plays, 7 yards, punt. Fourth drive, 3 plays, 2 yards, punt. Fifth drive, 5 plays, 34 yards, fumble. Sixth drive. I had a brain freeze there one. Sixth drive, 9 plays, 51 yards, ended in a half. Let's go to UCLA's drives. First drive, 3 plays, 5 yards, punt. Second drive, 9 plays, 29 yards, punt. Third drive, 4 plays, 31 yards, touchdown, 55 yards, touchdown, rush by fire. Fourth drive, 3 plays, 2 yards, punt. Fifth drive, 3 yards, -5 plays, punt. Sixth drive, 6 plays, 43 yards, interception by Jalen Husky. And as we stand here now, it is 7-3 UCLA at the half. And I will be right back as your boy needs a snack because this game is making me want to grief eat. And that's not good, but I do need a snack. So I'll be right back right after this and enjoy this break. Go get yourself a snack too while we're at it. And I'm back here. Let's do the halftime show.
How about Arizona State driving down the field with Malik Brown getting into the end zone, and Arizona State pulling off the upset of previously unbeaten Texas Tech, 26-22. Let's go back to the Georgia game once again. They outscored Ole Miss 17-0 in that fourth quarter, 143-13 in yardage in that fourth quarter. They took control. What was your biggest takeaway?
This is not the Georgia I know with Kirby Smart there. I mean, it's all about offense. This offense was spectacular. Ole Miss's offense was pretty darn good. But you know what? Gunnar Stockton, I'm loving this guy. And he's kind of flying under the radar. He was really good all day today. Second half, when it matters the most, he's 12 for 12, 3 touchdowns. He ran the ball for 59 yards. He's just playing clean. And if Kirby can get that defense going a little bit like he's used to with this offense, how Gunner's playing, don't count the dogs out.
No. You know, maybe it took them a while to get anything going on defense, but in the fourth quarter, Trinidad Chambliss was 1 for 10. As you said, very few yards, no sacks today for the Dogs. That has been an issue, right? They produced so many elite defensive linemen, and it just seems like there's a big drop off there. A bunch of them went in the portal. You know, one's at Missouri, tearing it up for the Tigers. I think they're just not as talented as they used to be. But I think the bright spot, as Coach said, when you see Gunnar Stockton playing, like, that's what a lot of people inside the Georgia program was like, yeah, this is why we're okay with Carson Beck leaving and going to Miami.
And it just seems like Georgia has played from behind all season long, but they just always find a way to win when it matters the most, especially at home. Of course, they won 34-35 at home. Meanwhile, number 3, Indiana is riding high after last week's win over Oregon, and today Heisman favorite Fernando Mendoza continued to impress. We got highlights of the Hoosiers getting it done. And Nico Iamaleava, he's played well lately, but right here, he'd like to have that one back. Jalen Husky got him, but it seems up 7-3 at the break.
You know what underrated snack is? Enjoying some cereal. Just out of the box. No milk, no bowl. Just eating cereal like they're chips or candy, or just like, meh. Or popcorn, just right now, I'm enjoying some Honey Bunches of Oats mixed in with some Honey Nut Cheerios. Lots of honey. I enjoy honey. I put honey in my tea. I like honey flavored cereal. I love my honey downstairs. My wife, she's my honey. So I like honey. I'm like Pooh Bear. Oh, honey. But let's go across the board in college football. See what's happening in the world of college football, because I did not get a chance to see too many games today because I was stuck in traffic. I worked this morning at the radio station, and my relief was a little late. I was hoping to be on air by no later than 5:36 p.m. to do a little pregame, but I had to call it audible and do a live stream during the game because it took me 2 hours to get from my radio station to my house, and plus I need to get gas because I don't want to have to be at work in the morning, so I didn't want to have to get up extra early to get gas in the morning, so I got gas tonight. So but that's neither here nor there. Let's go to the college football scoreboard. And right now, Washington State leads 3-3. Washington State leads UVA, number 18 in the country, 501, 20-10, with 2:18 remaining in the third. Texas A&M leads Arkansas, 45-35. This game is pretty much over, as undefeated Texas A&M remains undefeated in the SEC against 2-4 Arkansas. Oregon, number 8 in the country, leads Rutgers 49-3. I'm assuming that the spread in that game was covered. It's just because Oregon is like, you know what? That last loss, we need to make up for that. And Rutgers, you were the sacrificial lamb. Texas at half leads Kentucky. Number 21 Texas leads Kentucky at the half, 7-0. Now to talk about here, Arch Manning. Tennessee, number 11 Tennessee trails number 6 Alabama, 15-7. 4:05 remaining in the second half. Number 20 USC leads number 13 Notre Dame. Trails number 13 Notre Dame. Trails number 13 Notre Dame, 14-10, with 150 left in the second quarter. South Florida beats Florida. Directional Florida beats Directional Florida 21-3. 2 minutes at the 2-minute warning in the first half. South Florida is ranked number 19 in the country. Mizzou leads Auburn 10-7. Mizzou is 16 in the country, and that game is 7:43 remaining in the half. Utah trails BYU, the battle of the Mormon schools, as the what? The Utes. Oh, what's a Ute? Ute is trailing the Brigham Young 7-0, 9:39 remaining in the second quarter. Cincinnati is beating Mike Gundy's former team. I'm a man. I'm 40. Oklahoma State 14-10. Cincinnati is ranked 24th in the nation. Games that were final. OSU, Ohio State, number 1 team in the country, the reigning defending national champions. Dog walk Wisconsin. Wisconsin is not good. That makes Maryland's win over Wisconsin look a little worse because Wisconsin is not good. Not very good. In my Steve Spurrier voice. Indiana, number 3 in the country, 4-0. Oh, they are legit. They destroy Michigan State 38-13. Georgia comes back at Ole Miss, 17 points in the fourth quarter to beat Ole Miss, 43-35. Both are 6-1. Ole Miss 3-1 SEC. Georgia is 4-1 SEC. Texas Tech falls to Arizona State in the Big 12, 26-22. Vanderbilt defeats LSU. I think I had that in my parlay. I think Vanderbilt was if I go back and look at the numbers, yeah, give me a second. Let me go look at the numbers, that Vegas Insider numbers from earlier. Let's go to college football betting odds today. And my computer had to freeze up. Let's go. Where was? Yeah, what game am I looking for here again? I'm looking for Vanderbilt LSU. Scrolling. Of course, it's probably the last one on the page. Vanderbilt LSU. Where are you? I know I had it. And I'm not. It's too much work. But yeah, Vanderbilt 31, LSU 24. Vanderbilt 17th in the nation. LSU is number 10. Georgia Tech over Duke 27-18. Georgia Tech is 7-0, 4-0 in the ACC, number 12 in the nation. OU defeated South Carolina, the other SC, USC, 26-7. Oklahoma is 14th in the nation, 6-1 overall, 2-1 in the SEC. Memphis falls to UAB. Memphis was 22nd in the nation, 6-1. Well, 6-1 now, 2-1 in the American Conference. Falls to UAB. And then earlier, Friday night's game, we had Louisville beating Miami 24-21, and Minnesota beating Nebraska. The fact that Nebraska and Washington both lost, and we had both those teams beat in the fourth quarter, really frustrates me as a fan, as a commentator, as a journalist, as a spectator. The fact that Maryland had both these teams down by double digits and somehow decided to their way to defeat, snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, what Maryland does here. But it is what it is. And hopefully Maryland can figure out the fact that they do trail at the half. They can find a way to make a comeback and take a lead here, and somehow maybe, I don't know, win a game in October under Mike Loxley. Don't do the usual Maryland thing and start 3-4-5-0 and then lose every game the rest of the season. They must have that intertesticular fortitude and find a way to pull this game out, because they are not. UCLA is not outplaying them. It is really one play is the difference in this game. That was a 55-yard run by go back to his name here. 155-yard run by. Go back to the game stats. Where's his name? Excuse me. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm looking at his name here. I just had it and I lost it. Where did his name go? Gee whiz. I lost it. Oh, there it is. Excuse me. Anthony Frias the second. So Anthony Frias the first is probably happy. Oh, yeah, good. Let's bring back some sound here for this game.
The halftime report card is sponsored by Graduate by Hilton. Spirited stays in your favorite college towns. We've got a defensive battle going through the first half. UCLA at home on top of Maryland, 7-3. We welcome you back inside the booth here at the Rose Bowl. Robert Smith, Noah Reed back with you. We opened this game tonight talking quarterbacks, talking offense. So why wouldn't this game have just 10 combined points between the two?
Yeah, and I think when you talk about these defensive coordinators, Ted Marchiona and Kevin Coyle for UCLA, the guys with NFL experience and the way that they're used to game planning and really presenting different pictures to those offenses, they've really confused the opposing side. Credit to both of those guys.
Yeah, the defensive coordinators have been phenomenal with the way that they've drawn up the schemes today. It is Maryland football to open up this second half after they won the toss, elected to defer. Malik Washington hasn't necessarily been spectacular in terms of the stats that you're going to see on the screen here, Robert. But as a true freshman, we noticed this a couple times in the first half. The composure was phenomenal during big moments in the first half.
Yeah, it really was. And, we talked about Kevin Coyle, the defensive coordinator for UCLA. And, first of all, he said this is the most joyous team he's ever been around, like in the locker room after those victories against Penn State, Michigan State. And they were so excited about the new things, the new looks that they were adding this week.
Washington wants to throw on the opening play of the quarter. That's through the hands of Nolan Ray, the running back, to bring up second down.
Well, I love what Pep Hamilton is thinking here, though, as a coordinator. At least I believe I know what he's thinking. You just try and go with a simple throw, right? You try and go with an advantage throw, something that's just an extension of the run game. Get the ball out of your quarterback's hand quickly early in the second half.
Second down, Washington, all kinds of time. Now flush right, pumps, uses the legs, tiptoes the sideline, picks up something on a play that looked like nothing for a while.
That's what I want to see more from the league. He's not there.
Yeah, it looked like nothing because UCLA, unlike in that first half, we lost some of those crossers. Did a much better job looking those guys up this time. And even Malik Washington, nothing for an option downfield. All of those wide receivers just plastered.
UCLA defense trying to force the fourth 3-and-out of this game. Washington climbs the pocket. That is way too high for Jalil Farouk. And UCLA's defense does have a 3-and-out to start the third quarter.
It's the second time that we've seen an inaccurate throw like that from Malik Washington, really an unforced error. In that first half, it was a throw behind his wide receiver. This one
Maryland's
in front of his wide receiver.
3, 4.
Pretty good coverage again.
3-and-out.
From this UCLA defense, really not giving him any space.
Sorry.
Giving up just 3 points through the first half plus of this game. Punt is reeled in, and Mikey Matthews is ripped out of bounds immediately after a 51-yard punt.
Yeah, and that's really been the incredible part of the defensive performance. I mean, you're talking about defense gave up 450 yards in the game against New Mexico, had given up, 400 or so yards against Utah. And we talked about the decision that Kevin Coyle made coming over as a defensive coordinator.
Not a good commentator. I'm sorry.
All the experience that he had with Tim Super. Those guys have just done a tremendous job on that side of the ball. We'll talk a little bit more about
his name. Pretty bad. Call him
Tim Skipper and some of the tools that he's used to motivate this team to not be the one-hit wonders.
Nico Iamaleava takes over first drive of this third quarter for UCLA. Gives the football off. Jalen Berger continues to churn the legs down to the 24. He picks up 6.
Yeah, and just nothing complicated. You know, in talking to Jerry Neuheisel, we talked about the improvement in the run game. Like, what would you attribute that to? Like, well, just doing what they do well. And if you have guys that aren't going to be great pullers and they're not going to be great for those types of counter power gap scheme, get the guys blocking duo. They can't handle people as well. Single blocking, put them in duo.
One more time to Berger. This time he's stacked up at the 25. You had talked about Tim Skipper and the ways that he tried to motivate this team. He printed out signs and put them on the seats on the plane out to Michigan State last week that just said, "Are you a one-hit wonder?" After that big upset win over Penn State.
Well, the funniest thing to me, though, the examples that he used, you know, with Vanilla Ice and Ice Baby and Sir Mix-a-Lot with Baby Got Back, both songs that came out before you were born. Then he's used Milli Vanilli, a little confusing. They're kind of a no-hit wonder.
Rolled out, pass is complete.
That's roll out pass to first down.
And the Bruins keep the drive going after a 10-yard pickup.
Yeah, and one of the things that Jerry Neuheisel has talked about, and working with Noel Mazzoni, who he played quarterback for in this offense, just finding a way to take advantage of space and help create space for the wide receivers in the pass game.
Berger with just 1 yard. And back to that one-hit wonder thing, right after the game against Penn State, Sunday the next day, Tim Skipper said he played a slideshow with all those songs that you just listed and said to his guys, anybody know what these have in common? And no one was quiet. Nobody knew. They're all one-hit wonders. Are you?
Having those songs playing, the one-hit wonders playing throughout the
change in the second half of the defense. You know, they're awful.
I listened that they had safety dance, but they didn't have safety dance. I was a little disappointed. Probably my favorite one-hit wonder of all time.
Spoiler alert, they were not one-hit wonders. Backed it up with a big win over Michigan State. That is incomplete. He was looking for Mokiao Atimalala over the middle, and it was Jalen Husky, who already had an interception today, was able to break up the pass.
I love this play from Jalen Husky, and it's really timing this thing up perfectly. Of course, he has interception already in the game, and
move him from corner to safety because he has been
just seeing quarterbacks separate, getting ready to make that throw, puts that back foot
folks up
in the ground, breaks on the ball, but doesn't get there too early for the interference. Textbook defense.
Smart move by
a transfer from Bowling Green, where he was first team All-MAC a couple of years ago. It's been great for Maryland. Iamaleava zips it near side. Mokiao Atimalala, after not hauling in the last one, does reel this one in for 6 yards.
And that's what you're going to give up. You're the Maryland defense. You're going to give up those underneath throws.
All these names, but
this is something that Ted Monachino, the defensive coordinator, talked about. You just can't afford to have man eyes underneath. But of course, in that situation, you need third down and long. You're going to get that underneath stuff up. They're going to be able to find some voids in those zones underneath. Bruins
absolutely.
Out there. Well, not out.
Bruins did pick up one first down that drive, but it ends up stalling out, and Will Carroll's out there for the 5th time today to punt it away. Jalil Farouk lets it fly over its head and just snuck inside the pylon. I mean, about a foot away from having them at the 1, but it is a touchback.
As we go towards the break,
we've got a good one here in Pasadena, 7-3 UCLA.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the voice of college football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Make 2025 a winner now. But if you do notice that you're having issues with your gambling, having issues, determining if you want to use the money on, your car note, your house payment, food for your kids, stuff like that, remember that there is help. 1-800-GAMBLER. If you need the help, reach out. They will take care of you. 1-800-GAMBLER. Do not bet more than you're willing to lose. And if you're hopefully you're not willing to lose your house, your car, your family, etc. 1-800-GAMBLER if you found you have a gambling problem. Now, let us go back to talk about this game here. As Maryland still trails UCLA 7-3. What to say about this game that hasn't already been said about some terrible places in the world? All right, we got the game coming back here. They're doing a little promo this week. Tomorrow, Eagles, Vikings, Panthers, Jets, Saints, Bears, Commanders, Cowboys, 4:00 game, Packers, Cardinals. Most likely in this area.
Or Packers and Cardinals. Check local listings for the games in your area. Only on Fox.
Your Vikings might be getting the Eagles at the right time. A couple losses in a row. Blake Washington quick on a screen pass. It's reeled in by Dwan Williams, who gets upended near the 40, but it's a first down on a big play to start the drive. 19 yards.
And it's our guy, Key Lawrence, that we had interviewed. Taking a bit of a bad angle here. Can't just push a guy. Nice run there. Dwan Williams. But that's a play where Kevin Coyle, the defensive coordinator, he had the right guys, or at least the right scheme dialed up. Guys got to show up and make plays.
Washington snaps it over the middle. It's caught. Shalik Knotts with the reception, 6 more yards. Couple quick pass plays here to get Malik Washington going.
Yeah, get him going. And Pep Hamilton, the offensive coordinator, long history with this staff.
To give this time to Ray, trying to bounce outside. He got swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Taupaki with the stop, the 7th-year player from East Oakland, California.
And what I was trying to say, long history with Mike Loxley, really went back a while. But what I love, what Pep's doing with this young quarterback, Malik Washington, he's really made him patient and helping him understand you never go broke taking a profit, taking some of those easy underneath throws. But here, 3rd down, give him the freedom to get his guys into position, make sure he has the right play dialed up, man-to-man up top.
Washington looking left instead, off his back foot, floats it down the sideline. And now Maryland is just one of its last 7 on 3rd down. Punt unit coming on the field for the Terrapins.
Credit again to this defensive staff at UCLA, just letting them dink and dunk early downs, showing pressure looks, and then backing out of it and playing coverage and really confusing Malik Washington, just giving him nowhere to go with the ball. His legs are going to have to be a factor if they want to move the ball consistently.
Haven't been able to do that today. Forces another punt. A fair catch called for at the 15, which is where the Bruins will start their next drive. Gorgeous night here in Southern California.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Make 2025 a winner now. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. And we're back, but the game is not. So, interesting statistic about Malik Washington on third down. He is 13 of 28 for only 123 yards. No touchdowns, no picks. Completion percentage of 46%. The Maryland defense has been, like I said, outside of one play by Anthony Friars Jr., or the second, excuse me. And I just got a text message from my partner, Mark Gray, who basically says, Pep and Malik are poop tonight. Yes. He didn't say poop, but he said the other word for poop. It begins with the S and ends with the T. But let's bring it back here with the game here live on Fox Sports Live.
Stays in your favorite college towns. Big Ten football to a T. We've got a defensive battle, 7-3. UCLA leads Maryland. Let's go back in the Wayback Machine. Black and white footage for the last and only time they played here in LA. It was a close one. Two ranked teams fought to the very, very end of that one, but it's the first time in 70 years they played each other at UCLA. That 1954 team won their only title in program history. One of their wins coming against Maryland.
Awesome footage right there. So cool to see that. And such a storied program in this place. First time calling a game here. It's as advertised.
Iamaleava over the top of his intended target. Might have been deflected at the line.
See Frias coming into the game here. Of course, he had the long touchdown run earlier in the game. Look, they're in the wrong personnel, or they're trying to get the play call in. It was interesting listening to Jerry Neuheisel. I asked him, what was the biggest adjustment or biggest surprise? He's like, well, in practice, 15 seconds is over. You get another shot at it.
Iamaleava holds on to the football this time, trying to skate past the defender. Yeah, he had a couple miscues with hitting the button on time in week one against Penn State. Still took down the Nittany Lions, but he said, I've been better the last week or so since then.
It was funny. He said, I was so embarrassed. Like the company's like offering to send like a new model, like the Jerry Neuheisel model, specially made for him. It's just so cool. He's been preparing for this his whole life, working with his father, of course, Rick.
Iamaleava looking left the whole way. That is too low for the intended target, Frias, or rather Flores.
Either holding him to the limit or
there it is again with that low miss. And it's almost like he's just holding back on some of those, between the motion and the way that he kind of holds back on the throw. Like he doesn't want to put too much on it. Like he's trying to control the speed too much and ends up dirting it. They've been known to fake it.
Did once last week.
Couple times in the last few weeks.
No fake this time. 4th 3-and-out leads to the punt. Farouk at the 30, turns the corner. Great return. Tripped up, stays on his feet, and then looked out. He got pummeled after a 19-yard return. Good field position for Farouk and Maryland next.
Maryland will come back next.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Make 2025 a winner now. But remember, if you do have a gambling problem, do call 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER. Do not bet the house. Do not bet the car. Do not bet anything you can't afford to lose. Just don't bet. I mean, if you do it for fun, but don't. If you have problems with betting, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Because like I said, it's supposed to be for fun. Not supposed to be for a lifestyle or how you make your living. It's for you. If you have extra bucks here, you want to play, have a good time, no big deal. But at the end of the day, if you have problems gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER and call it now. All right. First quarter was scoreless. Second quarter was out. UCLA outscored Maryland 7-3. Third quarter remained scoreless, and Maryland was taking over the ball with the ball in the third quarter. 8-12 remaining in the third. It would be first down and 10. Maryland on their own 48 after a 20-yard return by Jaleel Farouk, who got the ball in good field position, midfield for your Maryland Terrapins. Now let's bring it back to the game.
On FS1, where the
winners... you tell me last night? You said it looks like a 7-game series, or 2 days ago.
It might be. Back and forth series, 3-2, going to game 6. Winners get the Dodgers in the World Series after they swept the Brewers.
Motion to empty here. Watch Washington's legs.
Ooh, Washington throws. It's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Andre Jordan, the cornerback, comes in off the edge to bat it away.
And Kevin Goyle said that he had a blitz reel dialed up, some NFL blitzes. Talked about just how excited his defense was. We were like, oh, yeah, that's going to work. And he said he's going to dial up some of those pressures. And Andre Jordan did the most important thing there, holding his water. And without a fake snap to kind of get a tell,
hold my beer.
He was able to get home.
Williams, the running back, on the screen pass, bouncing away from tacklers, and he's stacked up at the 48 as Maryland goes into UCLA territory.
I have to go back and look at the stats.
They're going to be content. You said earlier to give up those underneath throws, especially on first and second down here. When you're up a short throw like that, you just react to those throws in the flat. Don't take the cheese, as the defensive coaches like to say. You cover those flats too early, those deeper throws can happen. But here you are, 3rd and 6 now for the young freshman.
Can they avoid back-to-back 3-and-outs? Underneath, Williams is open in space down the sideline. Twisted, stays on his feet, and finally swung to the ground inside the 10. A 3rd down conversion of 42 yards.
Well, this is the price you pay. When you're going to bring that pressure, You're not going to have anybody to cover the back. An excellent job of design by offensive coordinator Pep Hamilton. He motions that lone receiver on the left side of the formation across the field, realizes he has man. UCLA brings the blitz up the A gap, and Williams up the sideline free.
It's Williams, this time on the ground after the 42-yard reception. The last time Maryland had goal to go, they had a 1st and goal from the 2, unable to score it, had to settle for 3 points. Got to be able to capitalize in the red zone this time.
Yeah, and this is part of the reason Pep Hamilton, the offensive coordinator, had talked about their emphasis on the run, bigger personnel, tighter formations, running it when they want to. Any offensive coordinator will tell you, you get in the red zone, you want to at least have the ability to run the football consistently to get that thing in.
Washington looking to throw back of the end zone, incomplete. He threw it a little bit behind Farouk, and that allowed Roderick Pleasant to make a play on the football.
Well, he threw that ball late and threw it behind him. Farouk's going to come open. You're going to see him come open inside near the goal post. We talked about the speed of Roderick Pleasant and the number of plays that he's made today. He's had some holding penalties. But Washington gets that ball in front of him. That's 6.
Yeah, thank you very much.
3rd and goal. Washington rolling right, zips it to the sideline. It's caught, but 2 yards shy of the goal line by Dorian Fleming. Decision time now for the Terps.
3rd down.
Yep. The decision is to go for it. You feel confident in their defense, the way that they performed on that first series, that even if they aren't able to get this thing in the end zone, that their defense will be able to hold UCLA offense and maybe get field position. But first things first, get a play dialed up here, try and give yourself an opportunity for a touchdown. Man-to-man on the bottom of the screen.
4th and goal from the 2. Washington flips it back in the end zone, and it's knocked away. Andre Jordan gets the football away on a 4th and goal to keep Maryland off the scoreboard.
Try and go with a little switch route with Dorian Fleming breaking free, but Andre Jordan rises up. Malik Washington a little short on that throw, and they miss out on 4th down.
On a slippery fan.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Pep Hamilton. Let me holler at your player. Why I don't claim to know more about football than anybody who's in the game, who's coaching the game, who's played the game at the highest level. But as a fan, as a consumer of the content, and as a journalist who covers the game, what are we doing here in the red zone? It's like, oh, we're in the red zone. Let's not do what got us to the red zone. Let's do different play calling. I understand I understand the amount of space to move is compressed, but that's twice in the red zone that they decided to not score. And the first time in the red zone, they scored a field goal. Second time, no points.
Take a look at our All-State Good Hands moment celebrating 20 years of All-State Good Hands Nets program, and it was the defensive stop that had Mike Loxley not happy with his offense.
But a great call defensively, and Kevin Coyle, the defensive coordinator, not his first rodeo, right? He'll play what's called a banjo coverage out there, and basically what you're doing is you're having the defensive backs switch responsibilities right where they need to be.
UCLA's defense got the stop on 4th and goal, so they are backed up against their own goal line, and Jalen Berger only gives them a couple more yards of wiggle room. Twice Maryland has had the football inside the 5 and have only come up with 3 total points out of it. A field goal the first time, a turnover and downs in the second, have not been able to punch it in for 6.
Embarrassing.
Iamaleava fakes the handoff, intercepted. It's a pick 6. Jamari Glasker puts Maryland in front.
Teaching your players situational football, understanding where that break's going to happen. You don't get your eyes back to the inside until you confirm what route
Nico
is being run, gets his eyes back just in time. And Glasker, what a game he had a week ago. 2 tackles for loss, had an interception in that one that was just kind of a gimme that was thrown up into the air. What a tremendous player, though. You know, he was beat on a touchdown a week ago against Nebraska, came back and had that interception, a physical player, but just smart football right there, taking the coach and believing what he sees, gets paid off with 6.
That'll back up the point after try for Maryland.
What's the penalty here?
False start.
False start.
Kicking teams, number 46 and number 71. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay the try.
Man, on a night the offense has just not been able to find the end zone for Maryland, it's the defense that comes up with a massive play. Back-to-back weeks with an interception for Glasker. This one's a pick 6, and the Terps go in front late in the third quarter.
Covering the 4 points, and lost 26. That's frustrating.
Point after try is there, and Maryland extends the lead to a field goal after an 8-yard pick 6 for Glasker, which is the 14th interception this season for Maryland. Their 4th pick 6. Both of those numbers lead the country.
That's just amazing what they've been able to do. Came into the game leading turnover margin, leading the nation in turnover margin, and you say, hey, man, offense, you don't want to score. That's all right. We got you, mate. That's second week in a row with the pick 6. Dante Joyner had 1 week ago against Nebraska. That's some good coaching, though. You can just tell the guys, the way those guys are playing, situational awareness. What do I expect out of this formation? But most importantly, not just guessing, confirming, and then getting the eyes back on the quarterback late, seeing that ball, say, this one's mine. I love the way Glasker plays, too. I mean, he's physical out there at corner. And he had a penalty a week ago, and he comes back and he has a tackle for loss right away, then gets beat on a touchdown, comes back with an interception. Guy's just a player.
Frias on the return. He has a 55-yard rushing touchdown today, but he's ripped to the ground just across the 25. This has to be one of those moments for Nico Iamaleava. His quick memory. You just threw a pick six. Maryland jumped in front, but you're right back on the field, and you got to forget about it.
Yeah, no question about it. That's what a quarterback always knows. The most important play is always the next one. And you just have to understand, you have to confirm coverage once the ball is snapped, because it's pretty clear both of these defensive coordinators are trying to change pictures after the snap.
It's a handoff to Berger, plows through that defense, and he picks up 6. Nico had 8 touchdowns, no picks the last 2 weeks. Wins over Penn State and Michigan State. Today, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and only 66 yards through the air. It's been a tough day.
Yeah, it certainly has. And you know what kind of mental makeup this guy has. And they brag about him, not just to brag about him. They know what kind of person he is. He knows he's going to be ready to come back.
Iamaleava lets it rip over the middle. It's pulled in. Mokiao Atimalala ripped out of bounds. Big play strike for UCLA.
That's what the great quarterbacks do when things seem to be falling apart all around you. Just rise up and make a play. I love that he hits Mokiao Atimalala in stride, allows him to make a nice gain after the catch.
34 yards through the air, longest pass play today for UCLA. Looking to quickly respond after the pick six by Maryland. Dumped out to the flat. Hudson Habermill was upended. Football came loose. Maryland says they have it.
I think the question here is going to be, did he have the ball long enough? And that's Dante Joyner, who had the pick six a week ago. Reacts immediately. Catches the ball. It's upfield. Oh, no, he's down. Yeah, the forearm is down on the ground. Nice play there by Joyner. And that's Hudson Habermill, who had been out a year ago with the injury. It's pretty clear that forearm hits the ground before that ball comes out. Hate to see that. Habermill on the field in a lot of pain.
The tie-in from
a seventh-year senior who has spent every year of his career here at UCLA. You said it, missed all of last season and come out to a really good start for his final year. Made his first catch of the day, but hate to see him down on the ground now.
We're going to get him up off the ground. We're just one of those lifers, you know, those kind of guys that are around programs. And, you know, I love the story that they were telling earlier in the week about Habermill, and said that Jerry Neuheisel's wife said, "Hey, could you please make sure he's like, he knows he has a good relationship with him. You see him bending that thing and putting the pressure on it going off the field." And boy, it just nothing like the relationships that develop inside of a locker room when guys have been around in the program for a long time together, like you have Jerry Neuheisel and Hudson Habermill.
Well, Neuheisel, not only the acting offensive coordinator, but he's also Habermill's position coach. He was elevated to tight ends coach last year, still holds that role this year as well. Those two guys, as long as they've both been in the program, Neuheisel's 8th year, Habermill's 7th, they have gotten to be very close.
Covering is 6.5 points right now. Rushing.
Second and 11. Iamaleava to the near side. Pass is pulled in inside the 15. Mokiao Atimalala's second big catch of the tribe. This one goes for 23.
All kinds of time for Nico Iamaleava, but I love that he's thrown with the anticipation and the accuracy.
10-yard penalty.
This one's going to be called back. Cortland Ford, the left tackle, with the hold. Erasing a great play. She's got Nasir Taylor, true freshman, rushing off of that left edge. When we talk about the youth of this Maryland defense, to hear Mathis, true freshman who's out today, and this Nasir Taylor in his place.
Frias tries to cut upfield and picks up a couple yards of that penalty yardage back after the second holding against Cortland Ford today. Wiped away what was a 23-yard completion.
But just drive killers, absolute drive killers when you have holding penalties like that. Just spot foul tackles normally back a yard or two, and this is where offensive coordinators earn their money. Talked about having this playbook that he was ready to install. There's not a lot in there for 3rd and 20, 3rd and 18.
Let's see what they got. Iamaliava climbing the pocket, nowhere to go, cannot escape. A swarm of white jerseys bring down Iamaliava. Sydney Stewart, the true freshman, hometown kid from Maryland, steps up in a big moment.
And Stewart is going to be the one that's spying Iamaliava the entire time. And Sam Yoon, the center, is going to try and get up on him. But because of that quickness with Sydney Stewart, you said it, partner, a true freshman, 6'2", 255 pounds. And guys like that are tough for offensive linemen to block in the open field because those guys can move so well laterally and just make linemen miss.
Farouk lets it fly over his head. It's a touchback. So close to a first down, having the football in the red zone on what you said it, a drive killer, a holding penalty, backed up UCLA. They had a 3rd and 18 that they couldn't convert, and it feels like a completely different situation now for Tim Skipper and his team.
Well, and the worst part about it, it wasn't just a negative play. It took a first down away. A tremendous throw from Nico Iamaliava. He hit Mokiel Ati Malala in stride. Now the Terps have got the ball again.
First time Maryland has had the football while having the lead today. They keep it on the ground, and Joanna Williams is stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. That's the one thing Maryland has not been good at this season at all, is running the football. They just cannot do it effectively in these first 7 games.
Well, I guarantee you, Pep Hamilton, he's going to keep going to that well. And one of the things that is the hallmark of these type of run games is you want things to look the same. So the success of the run game is by getting people just a little bit out of position. Saw that late motion that time, run up the middle. Think you'll see that action later again.
Play action, zips it outside. Octavian Smith Jr. bounced off the tackle, and he picked up just 1 yard. It's Roderick Pleasant, who we've been saying his name all night, making the play.
Yeah, we certainly have. And talked again, defensive coordinator Kevin Coyle coming over and installing this new defense and, kind of adding layers to it. And again, credit Tim Skipper as well. I mean, he's a defensive guy. That's his side of the ball. He's in there a few days a week on that defensive side, and I think he's having a little bit of fun trying to create new ways to confuse offenses.
Going to the fourth quarter, Maryland has the lead. Can they finish it this week?
During the drive.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select a betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Make 2025 a winner now. I am your boy, Charles Young, here at Maryland Live, struggling to get through this live watch along. It is Maryland up 10-7 on UCLA, as after a pick six gave Maryland a lead. It's pretty. This game is pretty defensive oriented, as as we have, my brain just went dead all of a sudden. We have, let's go to those drives. Let's go to the scoring here. Glasgow with an 8-yard interception return for a touchdown off of Nico Iamaleava. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Iamaleava, that's the name. That's how we say it. I'm gonna go with that. Nico Iamaleava is 12 for 20 for 99 yards and 2 interceptions. Completion percentage of 60%. QB rating of 81, while Malik Washington is 17 to 35 for 170 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, completion percentage of 49, QB rating of 89.4. Defensively, it's been the story for Maryland. Daniel Wingate leads the team in tackles with 9 tackles total, 8 solo, half sack, and 1.5 tackles for loss, 1 QB hit. Dante Joyner has a tackle for loss. We have, and who else? I'm sorry. We have Gasser with an interception, Husky with an interception. It's been interesting. So we are back in the game here as we enter the fourth quarter, where Maryland
2 weeks. Mike Loxley's team had fourth quarter leads that they could not finish, outscored 31-0 in the final quarter in those 2 games. Can they turn that trend around this week and get a Big Ten road win? Washington dumps it off. Williams out of the backfield, drags the defender with him down to the 28, and it is 4th down for the Terps.
Go with a little orbit motion there, trying to get a read on what the defense is doing, and confirmed what they thought. They had zone.
4th and 2.
Try to hit something underneath, but UCLA, once again, Kevin Coyle, the defensive coordinator, has done a tremendous job preparing these guys for those types of situations. Just come up, wrap up, make the stop.
5 of 14 on 3rd down for Maryland.
The defense has been spectacular for UCLA. The only Maryland touchdown today came on a pick 6. The offense has not scored a touchdown, but the Bruins need their offense to spark something here. Nico Iamaleava has thrown 2 picks, no touchdowns, but Jerry Neuheisel's offense is still in this game in the fourth quarter with an opportunity to make it 3 straight wins.
Yeah, and I think even though you've been around the program for a while, as a play caller, you kind of get a feel for what the strengths are of your guys. And quite frankly, play calling, it's as much highlighting your strengths as it is accounting for your weaknesses. This point in the game, it's about players, not plays, as Jerry Neuheisel says.
Iamaleava throws that off the helmet of the defender, and there is a flag thrown.
Pass interference on Jasper.
Yeah, Iamaleava was a little bit behind on that throw.
Defense number 27. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Slakai Rowland in the coverage.
Yeah.
Pretty
Rico
obvious.
Flores. And the Oscar goes to Rico Flores. Clearly going to have an acting career when he's done playing football, but clearly a hold by Roland, the young sophomore. He's had 2 interceptions on the season already.
We're in a good spot for an acting career, by the way. Berger bouncing left side, cuts back upfield. He's got a first down. There is a flag. Down the sideline. He gets shoved out inside the 30, but again, a marker near midfield. It's a 34-yard run for the time being.
Oh, Jalen Berger. Looks like this one's going to be coming back, and that's a shame.
During the run, block in the back. Offense number 3. 10-yard penalty from the spot.
It didn't even look like Quasi was getting the block on the outside. Jalen Berger was this a little Nelly run, a little bit of and a little bit of this. Look at this nice little cut to the outside, a little bit of stiff arm.
He didn't touch him.
That's what when I watched the play initially, I had no idea what they were talking about. Like he never touched.
Oh my goodness.
And the official sees the player take a dive.
That's embarrassing.
And all he's reacting.
The player could have died.
That official's reacting to seeing the player go on the ground and makes that call. That is, I mean, we've seen some bad calls.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know that I've seen one worse than that.
That might be the worst call we've had in any of our games this year. Iamaleava steps up, uses the legs, picks up the first down anyways. Ball don't lie, as they say.
I love this. Watch Nico Iamaleava, Eugene Brooks, number 55, the left tackle. He's going to start the convoy upfield, and Iamaleava's like, "That's all right, man. I got this." Watch, he sticks the left hand on his hip. Said, "No. Go ahead. Just get out of the way. Let me run." And what I love about Iamaleava, for a guy 6'6", he does a great job of really controlling his stride length, because you're 6'6", man. You're taking some big strides, right? The problem with big strides is it's harder to get lateral movement. So he chops those feet, and he has good lateral movement, but that acceleration, just seeing it, taking off.
It's Bryce Jenkins, true freshman.
Another freshman.
One of many that Maryland plays, who's down on the ground, slow to get up after the 27-yard run by Nico Iamaleava.
Freshman from Hyattsville, Maryland. Walks off the field on his own power. Hopefully, looking seriously, we just get a breather off the field and get back to winning.
UCLA has had 2 plays in back-to-back drives, a 34-yard play and a 23-yard play that were called back by penalties, but Iamaleava on the very next play, after one of them was wiped away, just ran for 27 yards, and he's into Maryland territory with a first down.
That running quarterbacks can make any defense look bad. You have everybody in the right position. A guy like Iamaleava, not just the ability to run, but for a big guy, the ability to cut and make people miss.
He's moving a lot of yards off the cutbacks.
Fakes the handoff. Iamaleava hit as he throws. Looked like his arm was going back, and Maryland's got the football. The spectacular freshman Sidney Stewart got his hand on there on the throw, and D.D. Holmes has the recovery.
Well, you called it, partner.
Sidney
Stewart.
True freshman.
Saw him making plays earlier.
Call is
they're going to take a look at it and see if that arm's coming forward, but you can see Stewart just fighting his way.
Ball's going back, right?
It looks, looks like it's an empty hand that comes forward.
That is
and I know that there's somebody in a really sharp suit, a rules expert. They have an expert opinion. but it looks like Nico, that arm comes forward with an empty hand because
ruling on the field.
Mathis.
This fumble recovery defense, that ruling is under further review.
It's under further review, but it looks like Stewart gets that hand on Iamaleava's arm.
While they're
and
talking it over, let's look
Nico's
at
hand comes forward
here.
without the ball.
Dylan Fontes, juniors.
Well, Mike, can you give us some analysis that's as sharp as your should?
Mathis.
Well, it's not a block in the back. I will say that, but it isn't. It is an empty hand. You look at that and say, okay, you see the elbow starting to go, which is nothing. It's the hand, and to me, the ball pops straight up in the air, and it is close. But what do we do here in these situations? What was called on the field ruled a fumble. To me, there's no way that you can overturn this.
Thanks, Mike Pereira.
Was upheld. What's your favorite one-hit wonder?
Have you around to explain the obvious
on the spot.
It's like I make more money. It's probably the obvious than I ever did as an umpire.
That's fine. Ice Ice Baby. That was one of the few songs that Coach listed off yesterday that I actually knew.
But you weren't alive. That's a terrible insult. You're so young, Noah. Zing.
No, Stewart, a true freshman, swipes the ball away, and then Holmes, the redshirt freshman, recovered it.
On the field of fumble recovery defense is upheld.
Yeah.
First down, Maryland.
Just as Mike said, just as you said, Robert, it looked like, especially with the call on the field being fumbled, that would be upheld.
Yeah, but I think when you come forward with an empty hand like that, that's kind of the definition of a fumble, and certainly nothing on the replay to say otherwise.
Turnovers have been killer for Tim Skipper's team. After none in the previous 3 weeks, that is now their third of this game. 2 of them in the second half.
UCLA fans are like, yeah, you guys got that call right. What about the block in the back?
No.
Keep it on the ground with Nolan Ray. This drive starting in UCLA territory.
This is when they expect you to run the ball up the middle. This is when you're like, hey, let's do a little something different. Maybe throw the ball down the field.
This is where you want that run game.
But what do I know? I'll miss it.
Again, we talk about the history of Pep Hamilton and kind of the offenses that he's been around. You talk about Stanford. You mentioned it earlier, partner. All those tight ends that ended up playing in the National Football League. Like going those big personnel groupings to kind of create some mismatches, but then get the change-up looks with 3-by-1 formations like this.
Washington zips it over the middle, and it was broken up. Roderick Pleasant again. How many times can you say his name in one game?
Well, I actually like what Malik Washington did right there, though, because there was a danger. John Vaughn saw that play the whole way. Would have been able to knock that thing down. Washington onto it, almost throw in. None of that really matters if they can't convert here on third down.
Ridiculous. 14 on third
UCLA, a little bit of confusion.
3rd and 8. Off his back foot, floats it into double coverage, incomplete. One in Shalik Knox. Key Lawrence was there on the back end for UCLA.
Watch Key Lawrence before the snap here, though.
Down the middle.
We talk about this being a new defense, and Key Lawrence walks up towards the line of scrimmage, and he's helping his man out here on the edge. Like, you got that guy, Jalen. You got him right there.
Yeah,
that's communication.
He has somebody
in its finest form. Just walk right up and tell the guy. We see it so much offensively with quarterbacks walking up to the line of scrimmage.
The pass blocking
6-3 for Maryland.
The defense.
Mikey Matthews calls for the fair catch at the 10, and the Bruins do not allow the turnover to hurt them. They've got the ball back, down 3 early 4th quarter.
And it's an oasis.
You're eligible to become a member of Navy Federal Credit Union.
Are we really
eligible?
No, I'm not. Because I'm not a veteran. But as we are going to talk a little bit more about this game, right after this.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Maryland, Tim Skipper, and UCLA in a battle. Early fourth quarter, 3-point game, and especially on the Maryland side, Robert, they are trying to close out a fourth quarter after giving up 2 fourth-quarter leads in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that's football, man. You know, you can do so many things right throughout the course of a game, but Maryland, so many times, 6 to 8 plays usually are the difference in the game. And if you knew which ones they were before the game, it'd be easy, but execution becomes so important.
Says Berger with a patient run, hopping behind that line. He gets just a yard, maybe. No gain.
No flavor, no seasoning. No
5 drives for UCLA, 3 punts, an interception, which was a pick six, and a fumble. They have not been able to get anything going after halftime.
3 yards.
We got a player down for Maryland.
3 plays, 7 yards punt. 3 plays, 2 yards punt. 5 plays, 34 yards fumble.
Daniel Wingate, their linebacker.
3 plays, 4 yards punt. 4 plays, 25 yards punt.
Not that you want to see anybody down, but if you're a Maryland fan, your leading tackler, second most tackles in the Big Ten as well, and he's been in on play after play for Mike Loxley's team tonight.
Yeah, that's something Mike Loxley talked about earlier in the week. And
another injured player, Wingate. No, this is the biggest stuff. You cannot.
He iterated with us that he wanted to take some reps off of those frontline linebackers, rotating some of those younger guys like Michael Harris and Keyshawn Flowers in.
You guys like E.J. Henderson.
Exactly sure what happened to Daniel Wingate there, but that's
one of the best players, best linebackers.
It's a violent game. We know that. We could see Wingate walking off under his own power, but certainly not putting all the weight on his left foot, it looks like. But the benefit of rotating guys in, next up mentality, it's more than just a saying. You start rotating those younger players in, they start building up some rep experience, especially late in these games. You have fresher players and more experienced players.
Oh, he's right there.
That you can plug in and know what they're doing.
For those of you wanting the Nevada-New Mexico game, that's available on FS2. We'll get you out to Albuquerque as soon as this one finishes. But we've got a great 11:35 to go. Iamaleava connects with Hudson Habermill. Great to see him back on the field after he went out 2 drives ago with an injury.
Well, you called it, partner. They were taking a look at that left leg. It's always scary when the doctors come out testing the knee. You never know what happened. So good to see a guy like that that's just been through so much as a Bruin to be back in the game.
Fake the handoff to Berger. Iamaleava hit as he throws, completes the pass. It's a first down for UCLA, down to the 35 for Quasi Gilmer.
Boy, the number of times we've talked about the inaccurate throws from Iamaleava tonight. With this throw on the move, knowing that he's going to be taking a hit from Jalen Husky, and he just delivers an absolute dime just over the outstretched arms. And then Sidney Stewart again. Nice job layering that throw.
Iamaleava floats it into one-on-one coverage on the sideline, incomplete. He had Gilmer for 17 yards last time, but this one falls
better play on that.
incomplete.
But that was a tough play, tough catch, tough all around for both.
Close on this one, and it's Jamari Glasker on the coverage. A little bit of hand fighting there. Gets his eyes back just in time. Looked like Glasker may have had just one last reach with that hand. And talk about fundamentals and what you teach these defensive backs. So important. Never give up on plays, and always remember, as wide receivers, they need those hands to make the catch. And you keep messing with their arms and their hands, you got a chance to knock it away.
Iamaleava into a tight window, completes the pass. Mokiao Atimalala into Maryland territory for a first down.
Look at the strong hands here for Mokiao Atimalala, because it's going to be number 2 on the defensive side, Braden Lee, that's going to try and knock this thing away. You get a better look at it here. Watch how he squeezes those hands, even with Lee trying to separate his arms.
Here we have a false start.
False start. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Let's do a quick scoreboard update across college football. Maryland leads, obviously Maryland leads UCLA 10-7. With
8th penalty today for UCLA. 6 of them on the offense.
Here's Iowa State. This is Paul Smith here.
First and 15. Frias. Straight up the middle. It gets all of the penalty yardage back, and it brings up 2nd and 10.
Left in the
nothing fancy. Again, Jerry Neuheisel, the offensive coordinator, in our conversations with him, and he's talked about the improvement in the run game and really not trying to get complicated, knowing your personnel and doing what we do best, and not trying to force guys into plays that don't utilize the best of their skills. Very good at duo, and that's what they run again.
Under pressure. Iamaleava spun down inside the 40. Great usage of the legs to pick up 7 and make this third down a lot more manageable.
And it's the clock in the head, too, that you like, and that's training. It's understanding when you need to get out of there. Okay, 100, 200, 300. Okay, I'm about to get smoked back here. I need to get my tail up out of the pocket. Iamaleava, for a tall guy, he's got tremendous acceleration.
3rd and 3. Make a play defense.
Give to Berger. Stood up after just a 1-yard pickup. It is 4th down.
Does UCLA go for it on 4th and short?
And the offense staying put right now for the Bruins until now.
Fans not too happy about it.
I think you should
of course
go for it. I believe
we know that they've been running a lot of fakes. It's
field goal attempts.
Wow, that's a long one.
Pagani's season long is 54. This would be a 56-yarder. They trotted him out in the first half for a 55-yarder, but a penalty backed him up. They decided to punt instead.
57-yard attempt.
56-yarder to tie it. Pagani tries it. He just missed it. Wide to the left. And Maryland stays in front by 3 with just over 7.5 to play in the Rose Bowl.
Boy, the fans in the end zone had me fooled. I thought this kick was good. Late pull to the left. Terps ball when we get back.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Make 2025 a winner now. It's your boy Charles right here on Maryland Live at the Voice of College Football, as we're doing a little live watch along with Maryland at UCLA in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena in sunny California, Southern California. I was just chatting with my friend Megan, who lives out in LA, Encino to be exact. She is a fan of the UCLA Bruins, and she's a Georgia Bulldog fan because, not everybody has great taste, but what can you do? She's her friend, go way back. But yeah, she says she's recording the game to watch it later. It's like, how do you do that in this day and age with smartphones and technology and everything like that? How can you avoid any information about the game to record it and watch it later? You must turn all your notifications off. But the game is coming back here as we have the Big Ten scoreboard update.
Down to Minnesota last night, 24-6. A lot of buzz around Washington. Should they not have been top 25? They lose by 17 to Michigan, and Ohio State and Indiana both remain unbeaten with dominant wins over Wisconsin and Michigan State, respectively. Your Buckeyes looking good, Robert.
My Buckeyes?
Yeah, your Buckeyes.
Who's Buckeyes? Who Buckeyes?
You want me to say your Wolverines or something?
How dare you?
First play, go G. Go G, got a middle field.
Tell that story in a second.
Yeah.
Hand off. This is Williams. Bounces right side. Best run play of the night. Williams is into UCLA territory, and the Terps have something rolling.
Used to tell the linemen all the time, don't worry about position blocking people. That's the importance sometimes of different units having the opportunity to meet together, because they get an idea like, okay, well, I got to block this side because the play is designed to go here. Just get a hat on a hat. You get some flat backs, they get an opportunity to bounce that, and they go with that turbo huddle again.
With the pace, they give it to Williams once again after the 13-yard run. He has 3 more.
And this is an excellent job. The decision by Pep Hamilton to use that kind of huddle against a defense that he understands, because they're installing a new defense and they're not necessarily sure how to react to certain formations, just sprinkling in enough of those types of plays, you can see the confusion on the UCLA defense when he does that.
Washington stands in the pocket, and it goes right through the hands of Jalil Farouk.
Oh, Farouk.
Malik Washington did everything that he was supposed to do.
Football.
Here in the baseball playoffs, appropriate pitch selection was correct by Malik Washington. Really took a little bit off that one for Farouk, and Farouk just doesn't do his part of the job.
Came home for this.
Big moment for the UCLA defense, trying to get a 3rd down stop. Washington scans, back foot, pass caught, and it's well short, about 4 yards shy of the marker for A.J. Szymanski, the tight end, making his first catch tonight.
Yeah, and Cole Martin doing his job. What do I expect out of certain formations? How are these routes going to unfold? And he sees Szymanski
Where's Dwayne Fleming?
coming into that flat, and he's ready to make that stop.
Not.
Such a good open field tackler. He's one of those juice guys, man. You can just tell in practice. You see him jumping around, running across the field, juking coaches, just having a blast.
Another punt for McPherson. Maryland trying to flip field position here, but they can't. That's a touchback. Bruins offense taking over next. Down 3, 5:40 to go.
One, two, three, four, five, six. 3 and outs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 punts by the Maryland Terrapins at the half. On the positive, UCLA has 1, 2, 3, 4 3 and outs, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 punts, and 1, 2. I think I had 3 interceptions. I could be wrong. 2 interceptions. So, yeah. So, what the heck is going on here? Maryland, average numbers of plays per drive, 5. Same with UCLA. Scoring drives, 1 out of 12 for both teams. Average time of possession, 204 for Maryland, 225 for UCLA. Average yards gained, 23 for UCLA, 24 for Maryland. Third down distance, average third down distance, 5.7 versus 5.9 for UCLA. Points of turnovers. Maryland 7, UCLA 0. Touchdown rate, Maryland 0. UCLA 8. Drive success rates, 50% for Maryland, 56%. This game is not. If you took the under, you might have won some money. But if you have problems with the gambling, go away on the gambler. If you took the under, you might have won some money. Because look at how this is working. Let's go to game comparisons here. Time of possession, UCLA is up 29-24 to 24-57. Both teams have lost a fumble. Maryland's 5 of 16 on third downs versus UCLA's 6 of 14. We have here total tackles 51-49. QB hurries 2 each. Pass breakups 2 for Maryland, 13 for UCLA. 2 sacks from Maryland. 3 takeaways from Maryland. 2 interceptions in the fumble recovery. Maryland's defense has been doing their best to keep this game in their favor. UCLA's outgained Maryland to total net yards 295 to 263. Net rushing yards 152 to 23. But obviously 55 of those yards are from one run. So, and we are back here with 5:40 remaining in the fourth quarter.
His team down 3 with the football, trying to put together a potential game-winning drive. Maryland's defense, meanwhile, has blown 2 fourth-quarter leads in each of the last 2 weeks, but they've got an opportunity here to finish on the road and win a Big Ten game against UCLA.
One more
Doesn't
time.
get any better than this at the Rose Bowl, baby.
Iamaleava, quick pass on the slant. It's caught. It's a first down. Mikey Matthews swung to the ground after 14 yards, and that's a great opening play of the drive for UCLA.
This is the way you prepare your quarterbacks. Expect the blitz, and what do you do when you see the blitz? You throw into it. There's going to be a void.
Up tempo. Iamaleava floating it into one-on-one coverage for Matthews again. Couldn't pull it in, but there is a flag. Dante Joyner had the coverage.
Dante.
Yeah, Joyner just can't locate that football, and we see so many times.
Pass interference, defense number 6. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So many times when a defensive back is in this position, quarterback, bit of an underthrow, bit to the inside, and woo! I don't know. I don't know if that's a makeup call.
That might be.
I mean, Another acting job. We got 2 Oscars being handed out for some performances tonight.
Just outside of midfield, Iamaleava launching it near sideline too far. Wanted Quasi Gilmore, instead it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and one of the things that you see with Nico sometimes is he doesn't give himself enough space. You feel that pressure, and sometimes, I mean, that's why quarterback is just so difficult. Sometimes you need to step up a little bit. Sometimes you need to step back a little bit to give yourself an opportunity to step in the throw so you don't have those overthrows.
Iamaleava, incomplete. Just over the top of Rico Flores, who got his hands on it, but back-to-back incompletions makes it 3rd and 10.
Tight window throw, but what the quarterback's got to be able to do,
that was a very
consistently make that throw, and he makes Rico go up for that one. And we said earlier, Rico's 6'2". I think he needed to be 6'5" to make that catch.
Third and 10. Iamaleava. Oh, that's almost intercepted.
He got drilled. The defense again bails out
Messiah
Maryland.
Delhomme applied the hit on Iamaleava.
Oof. Delhomme had the interception last week.
Cam Smith.
This time they bring
another player down from
blitz off of the edge, and that's the kind of confidence Ted Monachino has in the true freshman out of Newport News, Virginia. Guy's got some versatility.
He said like macchiato, maraschino, Jerry. He said something weird earlier. No, Dante Joyner's hurt now.
It's Dante Joyner, who's been so good for Maryland. One of their starting cornerbacks limping off the field.
Yeah, you hope that's just a cramp. I want to speculate, but a lot of times when you see guys walking like that, sometimes it can be a cramp. Get them some fluids, get them back in there. And I'm sure Jerry Neuheisel, the play caller, gets in Nico's ear and says, might have a new player out there on the corner. Might be a good time to attack. We get some man-to-man coverage.
4th and 10, offense stays on the field. Iamaleava scans, fires a dart over the middle. It's caught for a first down, but then a crushing hit applied by Jalen Husky on Quasi Gilmer. Flag thrown 2.
Yeah, of course, thinking this is going to be targeting defenseless player, hit to the head and neck area, and Husky.
Personal foul, targeting, defense number 22. 15-yard penalty. The play is under further review.
Or you can see Husky needing the help to get off the field as well. That might not have been a good idea to get back into the game. But of course, with a targeting call, he's going to be out for the rest of this game. The first half next week against Indiana. And with a defenseless player, any hit to the head or neck area, and tougher to see from that angle. Coming in here pretty clear, and that's helmet to helmet. And that's why it's just so dangerous, and why they try and get those hits out of the game. You can see the reaction of Husky as he goes to the ground here. Helmet to helmet like that is just so dangerous, and he lowers the head too. We've seen players like Ryan Shazier, Pittsburgh Steelers, unfortunate accident years ago.
After reviewing the play, the targeting on defender number 22 is upheld. The 15-yard penalty be added to the end of the run. Number 22 is disqualified from the remainder of the contest.
So that's the second player Maryland's lost to targeting today. Trey Reddick first, now Jalen Husky. They've been without Zaire Mathis all game.
Because I know everybody wants to take defenders' side in that discussion about targeting, and is it too onerous, too harsh a penalty to have players kicked out of the game? But we know it's a violent sport. It's not a contact sport. Basketball's a contact sport. It's a collision sport. But you're literally talking life and death with some of those hits.
In the red zone, it's a handoff to Berger, and he just got tripped up at the ankles by LeVan Scruggs.
But I love the way that Jalen Berger is running tonight, setting up his blocks very well and making just those extra cuts for those crucial red zone yards.
They give him one more touch, and he got drilled backwards, but a second push gives him 2 yards. Great second effort there to pick up something ahead of this third down.
Run game's been so effective today, and what we have not seen a lot of is Nico Iamaleava using his legs. We've seen it a few times tonight, and this was something that Jerry Neuheisel, the new play caller, wanted to change. Didn't want him to be the leading rusher, but in situations like this, his legs could be the difference.
Iamaleava looking to throw, zips it to the end zone. Touchdown, Mikey Matthews. UCLA goes in front with 3:33 to play on the passing touchdown.
And Messiah Delome's going to be in coverage. Nothing fancy here. Mikey Matthews, just a little over route, and it's really tough for defenders playing man-to-man to cover all the way across the field like that with the speed advantage that Matthews has. We've seen Nico Iamaleava struggle with his accuracy tonight, but not when it mattered most right there.
A 14-yard strike to Mikey Matthews and an 8-play drive that takes just over 2 minutes off the clock to put UCLA in front.
Yeah, nothing fancy there again. This is one of those kind of plays where Jerry Neuheisel, play caller, we're probably going to get man-to-man in this situation. They're going to want to bring pressure. But every time you bring pressure, you leave your players exposed on the back end. Football is always another numbers game. The numbers you commit to pressure are the numbers that you don't have in coverage. When you have man-to-man like that and try and cover a guy all the way across the field, have a quarterback like Nico Iamaleava choose the guy that wins. The guy that won was Mikey Matthews.
An unfortunate feeling of been there, done that for Maryland fans who are sitting at home. They blew fourth quarter leads in back-to-back weeks against Washington and Nebraska leading into this week. Had a fourth quarter lead, but with 3:33 to go, down 4, trying to avoid a third straight game where they lost when leading in the fourth quarter. Outscored 38-0 in the fourth quarter over the course of those 3 games.
Well, but I love what I just saw. Mike Loxley, he walked over to his quarterback, Malik Washington. You can see him giving that speech. Been watching you since the 8th grade. Go do what I know you can do.
Iverson Howard at the goal line on the return. And he gets stopped shy of the 15. Great coverage on the kick return by UCLA.
Nothing like the game of football, man. Play in these hostile environments. They're, to me, there's nothing like winning on the road in a hostile environment. And if you're Malik Washington, true freshman quarterback, we talked about how calm and how different everybody says that he is. Now you've got to have some of your players make some plays. Some people have got to get open. And that run game has got to be some balance.
Screen pass, Octavian Smith with a block from one of his receivers is swung to the ground across the 20 by Key Lawrence.
Still, it's another screen pass.
Nice call from Pep Hamilton. Early in this drive, just Give your quarterback a nice, easy completion to the outside. Get into the rhythm. Let him realize this is the exact same thing that you've been doing since you arrived. And
41.
We'll talk about this in a second.
Drops it off behind the receiver. It's picked off. Through the hands of Caleb Webb. Picked off by Scooter Jackson.
And we've seen the problems with Malik Washington and his accuracy tonight. In front of receivers, behind receivers. Not all interceptions are created equally. This time, it's the pass that's thrown behind Caleb Webb. Gets tipped into the air that causes the interception. See, he's just a little behind on this throw, but that's just enough. Webb can't get both hands on it. Right place, right time for Scooter Jackson.
Maryland had just 3 giveaways all season. They've turned it over twice tonight. This game is far from over, though. All 3 timeouts for Maryland and the 2-minute timeout. Berger is drilled right at the line of scrimmage. Scooter Jackson's first interception of the season in a massive moment just inside of 3 minutes to play, with his team looking for their 3rd straight win after an 0-4 start and a coaching change. UCLA has been one of the really fun stories of college football over the last 3 weeks. Looks like a false start.
False start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Maybe not a drive killer, but you change things. Good thing all the way down to 2:18. Those 3 timeouts be the difference. Probably going to have to burn one of those. Only being 2nd down. So they can still try a field goal, go up 7.
Iamaleava throws, passes caught. That's Flores. Stays in bounds, but no pickup. Great job by Maryland's defense, who then uses a timeout with 2:10 to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, there it is. Get that timeout. You don't want to burn all those for your offense because you know you're going to need a touchdown, whether it's a 4-point lead or a 7-point lead. If it's 7, if it's a field goal that's made.
Did add 2 more seconds onto the clock, so 2:12 to go, 3rd and 14. 2 timeouts for Maryland plus the 2-minute timeout.
Won't need to use another one of those. It was a good call using that one. It's after 4th down. Go down to the 2-minute timeout, saving yourself 12 seconds. Not really that much of a difference, especially not at the cost of a timeout when you know you're going to need a touchdown. Do you try a double move here?
We'll find out.
Hey, you got all those years with the playbook, all the special calls, and you think, man, double move would really get him here.
They are going to throw. Iamaleava throws it into the grounds. Sidney Stewart came in off the backside. And that's Nico Iamaleava, who is really slow to get up, holding on to that knee.
That is no good for Nico.
Directly into the turf. A lot of pain down there.
A lot of players not
and Stewart
being hurt in this game.
We've called his name many times tonight. Just a true freshman. And that closing speed that he has. Nico's knee gets driven into the ground.
That was Nico's brother, Madden Iamaliava, looking on with Nico on the ground.
But I know all of the stories out there, and a lot of Tennessee fans have any good things to say about Nico Iamaliava, and to a person on this staff when they talk about Nico Iamaliava and just talk about what a great person he is. And even to us, we show up at practice yesterday and Nico's walking off the field and stops to say hello. Where are you guys from? I mean, not with that accent, but great to see him get up here.
Such a great kid. Having to be helped off the field. Luke Duncan was taking some warm-up throws. A redshirt sophomore who made his debut last week has not recorded an official stat in his career. Did not play at all in 2023. Did not play last year.
I just hate to see that. Really able to put a lot of weight on that.
Mateen Bagani on to attempt a field goal to make this a 7-point lead. It's a 42-yarder. Just missed from 56 a little earlier tonight.
In his range, 42. Maybe they can stop off at 6.
Good snap and hold. Bagani's kick on the way. He drives it straight through the middle to give UCLA a touchdown lead with 2:04 to go.
All right.
A fist pump from Tim Skipper, the interim head man for UCLA, trying to lead the Bruins to a 3rd consecutive win.
Some people may say, why even go 4 to 7 when maybe you could even do a little pooch to pin them? The answer is touchdown isn't worth 7 points. It's worth 6. Great point. Make that extra point.
No relation.
.204. Mike Loxley's team has 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout. And a 19-year-old true freshman, Malik Washington, who is one of, if not the front runner for Big Ten Freshman of the Year. And he's going to have a big opportunity for a clutch moment.
It's the errant pass to Scooter Jackson, straight out of Compton. Curtis Jackson is Ice Cube's real name, right? You should know that.
Wow.
I leave it to you for that.
Okay.
Robert Smith just said Curtis Jackson's Ice Cube's real name.
Touchback is great news for Maryland there. Without the return, no time comes off the clock, so they still have 2 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout for the true freshman Malik Washington, trying to avoid a 3rd consecutive loss after a 4-0 start this season.
Robert Smith is an atrocious in this game.
We got 1 drive starter. It had just a little bit less than 2 minutes when the actual 2-minute timeout occurs.
I can't
What a difference that is for college football now, right?
Yep.
Clock management becomes much different.
College football is the best, man. Here we go. 2:04 to go. 1 touchdown game. Maryland with the football.
3-yard out.
Washington's legs.
Washington's legs. There you go. Takes off. And he's got the first down. 1:57 on the clock. That brings us to the 2-minute timeout, but a great start to this drive for Malik Washington and Maryland.
There it is. California knows how to party. but it's Maryland with the ball and an opportunity to tie it up on this drive.
The first rule of tailgating, don't forget the Dr. Pepper. The second rule, just don't forget the Dr. Pepper, okay? It's a pepper thing.
You're eligible to become a member of Navy Federal Credit Union. Because I'm an Army veteran, our whole family can join and get exclusive savings and discounts.
Oh, yeah. No, sorry, don't want to do that.
All veterans and their families.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
And make 2025 a winner. Now, this is your boy, Charles Younger, here for Maryland Live at the Voice of College Football. We're doing a nice little watch
Bowl with UCLA on top of Maryland by 7, but the Terrapins have the football, 64 yards from a touchdown and an opportunity to tie this game up.
Maryland blew another lead.
Or go for two and win it.
That too.
It's time for
you having fun yet?
This is unbelievable. You know, we were so excited when we found out we'd have an opportunity, both of us. First time calling a game here at the Rose Bowl.
Here you go. First and 10.
Unbelievable environment in a game like this, and kind of what this team's gone through the last couple of weeks in an exciting young Maryland team. This is as good as it gets.
2 timeouts left. Malik Washington, the true freshman quarterback, floats it over the top. That's Williams. He gets punished out of bounds. 9 yards.
A nice gain, more importantly. Stopping that clock without burning timeouts. Time, wouldn't say it's not a factor, but you got plenty of time with 2 timeouts and a minute 52. Middle of the field open to you with those 2 timeouts and the amount of time left. Of course, you've got to get this thing into the end zone.
Empty backfield. Washington, time, zips it to the sideline, incomplete. Wanted Shalik Knotts. Roderick Pleasant was once again there with the coverage for UCLA.
You got to come down with it. You got to help your quarterback out making the play.
You've seen Roderick Pleasant in coverage so many times tonight. And what we've also seen, Kevin Coyle, the defensive coordinator, he's dialed up these pressure looks, but it's been simulated pressure much of the time, which is line everybody up, those double-A mugs, linebackers in there, then they drop out in coverage and take away passing options.
3rd down, Williams straight up the middle has the first down, which will momentarily stop the clock, and it's a fresh set of downs for the Terrapins with 1:40 to go.
Of course, you don't want to burn the timeouts yet.
Washington staring left to the sideline, reeled in, short pickup for Octavian Smith Jr. Only 5 seconds come off the clock on that play, but they ruled him out of bounds, said he didn't get his foot in. It's incomplete.
Yeah, and make no mistake about it, UCLA defensively, they're going to have a structure that's going to allow, especially outside of the red zone here, they're going to keep allowing those type of underneath throws. You have to start dialing up some plays that are going to get the ball a little bit further downfield. Part of the cat and mouse game.
Washington fakes, takes off, scampers away from a tackle. He's got a first down with a block in front. Washington down the sideline. He stepped out of bounds at the 23. A phenomenal block from DeJuan Williams sparks that play.
And Pep Hamilton said it best. You can't always manufacture explosive plays, but when you get people blocking downfield, whether it's a wide receiver or as you have in this case, DeJuan Williams laying the wood on Cole Martin, pushing him out of his quarterback's way. Completely different situation now. Maryland just on the fringe of the red zone.
28-yard pickup by the quarterback. The ball is at the 23. And with 1:24 to go in the fourth quarter, UCLA takes its first timeout.
UCLA, their first of the half, will be 30 seconds in length.
I mean, what a block by your running back there.
Well, we've said this before, Noah. You know, running backs, come on. They're the smartest guys on the team. They're the best looking guys on the team. They're the most humble guys on the team. Most physical guys on the team. No, that's just
anything else.
Well, you name it. Anything good, they're the best at. No, that's the way you teach your guys, though, right there. Like, it's not just about you. That's why it's the ultimate team sport, man. You know, for one guy to succeed, 10 other guys got to be taking care of their job. And to truly be successful and to do something a little special, like those explosive type plays, again, take some downfield blocking.
All right, here you go. First and 10.
1:24 to play. First down from the 23. Washington fires towards the goal line. Incomplete. No flag. Andre Jordan, the coverage on Shalik Knotts.
Boy, and Andre Jordan, he wasn't too sure. He was looking around for flags, too. They're going to get physical here on the outside. Shalik Knotts. You know, they both get their eyes back. And a little bit of hand fighting both ways. And you could see most could have thrown a flag on Knotts. I mean, he actually got his arms, pulled Andrew Jordan away from there.
Washington lets it rip, crossed his body. Dorian Fleming's got it, and a nice open field tackle after a short pickup by Key Lawrence.
Dorian Fleming.
Clock winding.
Still plenty of time. You've got 2 timeouts. This being third down. And we've seen Pep, short motion.
Washington rolls right, escaping the pocket, tucks it, now throws the last moment to Smith, and they say incomplete. Did not get his feet in, and there's a flag in the end zone.
Flag on the end zone. What's the call?
I don't know if this is Key Lawrence or Scooter Jackson.
Holding. Defense number 2.
Neither one. It's Andre Jordan.
Automatic first down.
Half the distance to the goal and a first down.
It's the wrong person. They called that on Andre Jordan. I don't think that was it. I think they called it on Scooter Jackson, or it should have been called on Scooter Jackson. He was the one right there as Knotts is trying to get back to the ball.
Washington looking, end zone back, corner, sliding play, touchdown, Jalil Farouk. An extra point away from tying the game with 40 seconds to go.
Players, not plays. I love the placement on this football.
What a play. What a throw
by Malik Washington.
Drops back, looks right.
Only where my guy can get it. And that was pretty good coverage from Roderick Pleasant. Fastest guy on that defense. Definitely kept that off the ground. Jaleel Farouk, who had been in the doghouse a little bit. Pep Hamilton said he wanted to get him dialed up. Of course, Farouk was at Oklahoma with Key Lawrence, plays in the secondary for UCLA. All important extra point with the kicker who missed a field goal earlier.
That one is right down the middle to tie this game at 17 with 40 seconds to go. The true freshman quarterback was sensational on that drive.
How about that? Mike Loxley. First saw Malik Washington when he was in the 8th grade. Pep Hamilton, the offensive coordinator who's known Mike Loxley since 1997. You were 2. They put it together. And you saw him talking to him on the side. That was just a great scene. He's like, I've known you since you were a little kid.
This is important right here. Nico Iamaleava, who went out with what was a knee injury last drive, is up, moving around, throwing the football. So you got to imagine the hope for UCLA fans. He's able to go. After Maryland's first offensive touchdown of the night comes with 40 seconds to go in regulation. Frias on the return just outside of the 10. Crosses the 25. So UCLA, 2 timeouts, 35 seconds to go. Mateen Bagani's season long is from 54 yards.
Well, Maryland going to be given some space here. Got a couple safeties deep. Going to be playing soft on the outside. Keep everything in front of you.
Iamaleava stepping up in the pocket. Pass was deflected on the throw. Incomplete.
That's another one of those instances where Iamaleava have to understand when you need to slide or climb in the pocket. You can't afford to stare at defensive lineman or your offensive lineman. Just kind of get a feel for when you need to move just a little bit so that you don't get hit as you're throwing.
Iamaleava drops it off. Pass is caught. It's a first down. Mokiao Ati-Malala moves the chains for UCLA, and momentarily the clock will stop. And it looks like UCLA is taking a timeout.
Gani's had a 54-yarder versus Penn State.
That would mean needing to get the football to about the plus 37. Which is about another 22 yards from where the football is at right now for UCLA at their own 41.
This is the dilemma as a defensive coordinator. Ted Monachino, you want to play soft, somewhat soft. But you don't want to give up too much because those underneath throws can be really dangerous run after catch. And you've got a quarterback, even though he's banged up, still can do some damage with his legs.
Looks to throw. Fires. Far sideline. It's caught. First down. Back-to-back catches for Mokiao Ati-Malala into Maryland territory.
Big-time players make big-time plays at big-time moments in big-time games. Nico Iamaleava, we saw him limping off earlier after his knee goes into the ground. Mokiao Ati-Malala. Another good catch. Gets out of bounds. A few more yards and they're in field goal range.
The give to Frias. Oh, he's got a lot of space. Frias across the 20. Still on his feet. At the 5, he's finally dragged down. Wow. Anthony Frias. Big time run.
Frias, the big touchdown run early in the game. Another big run here. And it's the tackle breaking, the determination, covering up the football, working in the spin. It looked like a running back drill there. Kind of get all those pieces in, doing it when it matters most. Unbelievable play. And I know Maryland fans are sick right now after what they've seen with comeback loss, up 20-0 against Washington a couple of weeks ago, up against Nebraska late. Now UCLA with a chance to send Maryland all the way back across the country, feeling low.
An 0-4 start for UCLA. They made a coaching change. The interim man, Tim Skipper, said it's a completely different feeling around UCLA football now. Upset win over number 7 Penn State 2 weeks ago. Then a win last week on the road against Michigan State. And they are a field goal away with 4 seconds to go from making it 3 straight wins. 23-yard attempt from Mateen Bagani. But first, Mike Loxley uses one of his 2 remaining timeouts.
Yeah, why not? UCLA kicker Bagani on ice. He's got that thing on that right hash. He seems to have a natural draw. He missed a field goal earlier to the left. And he's on that right hash. Where I'm sure he's comfortable. But you never know. College hashes, they're just so wide. Not trying to jinx the guy. Just stating the facts here, Noah, that the college hashes, with as wide as they are, these kicks aren't always that straight.
23-yard attempt to win it for Mateen Bagani.
And it's not.
Good snap and hold. Here's the kick from 23. He got it! Walk-off winner, and UCLA has won 3 straight.
2018. How
Hey, I hate to be wet blanket, but it seemed like there was time on that clock. They ran off. It seemed like they ran off a couple of seconds. And I wonder, I think that they're going to have people go to I think they're going to put a couple of seconds back on here.
No,
maybe not. We'll see.
Well, both teams retreating to their respective sidelines.
It sure looked like they ran a couple of seconds off.
Again, Maryland blows. 4th quarter, embarrassing performance. The defense, your quarterback he played like crap. I'll give it to him. He played like crap 3 quarters. He made the plays at 4th quarter to tie the game, and you decide the defense allows them to march down the field. Anthony Frias has 4 carries, 97 yards, 24.3 yards a carry. This team, I'm going to go more into detail in my article. If you go to the Voice of College Football, www.vocfb.com. Go check out our articles there. Check out the coverage for all of the teams. I have no words for this game. I'm just going to go ahead and say this has been Charles Young, your boy Charles Young, here at the Maryland Live, the Voice of College Football. And tune in where myself and Mark will lay into this team next week. We might talk coaching change. We might talk quarterback change. Something's got to change here. this team played well enough to win and gave up a big play here, a big play there, which caused them to lose this game 20-17 to UCLA, who has won 3 straight, as Maryland has lost 3 straight. Maryland drops to 4-3, 1-3 in the Big Ten, and UCLA is 3-4, 2-1 in the Big 3-1 in the Big Ten. So, yeah, this, and like I said, in the words of In the words of Steve Spurrier, not very good. And I am going to call it a day. This has been your boy Charles Young at Maryland Live at the Voice of College Football. Stay tuned to see us again soon.